Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Talk Radio.
Thank you, George. It's always a delight to do a show after George Galloway because unlike Johnny and Ash, he has the studio nice and cool, man. And he gets you guys are warmed up as well. Good evening, this is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. 0844 499 1000. Here's the news.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Challenge any of you lazy buggers to a Pradeep, but don't phone up after the George Galloway show has finished asking to talk to George Galloway, and then when Catherine says you can't talk to George Galloway, wishing her a short and miserable life. You should have whacked him through to me. I'd have sorted him out. You miserable old git. If you've not got the brains to know that when a show has finished, the presenter goes home, then you don't deserve to speak on the radio, you cretin! Evening, dear listener. It's Iain Lee. It's Talk Radio, and I have to make a confession. I have taken several bucketfuls of performance-enhancing drugs. I've been inspired by our Olympic teams around the world to really face up to my responsibilities and up my game. So I have taken loads of performance-enhancing drugs. Don't take drugs at home, kids, please. I always found it was best to take them in parks and bus shelters. I'm joking. That's a joke. Don't take drugs, okay? Like they're going to listen to me. Like there's a 16-year-old... Well, there's a 16-year-old listening to this, but there's a 16-year-old about to spark up a J, man. They go, oh, no, the old man on the radio said don't take drugs. Let's flush this down the toilet and go and read the Bible. That's not the only alternative to drugs, but it's a darn good one. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you're watching on Periscope, the colour today is red. I have set it to red, although I can already feel it inducing a migraine. We can change the colours of the lights in the studio, and normally I have them off. Maybe the couple of lights on above the desk. But tonight I've set them to red, although I can feel... Here and here, he said, indicate... Hang on a second, someone's called in. Yes, Jonathan.
Hello, Ian.
That was the chair making that noise.
Yeah, I need you to calm down a little bit because I need to ask for your advice. This is a pretty serious and sensitive subject.
OK, is it to do with your balls? Your big racist balls?
No.
It's nothing to do with your misogynistic cojones?
No.
OK. It's a shame. Do you mind if I draw your balls while you ask me this?
As long as you listen, I don't care.
I'm listening, and I'm drawing, and if you're watching on periscope.tv/Iain Lee, at the end of this phone call, I'll show you the picture I'm drawing of Jonathan's racist balls.
I've just been on Twitter, and someone fairly high profile has accused someone that I'm following, and who follows me in return, of being on the sex offenders register for being a paedophile.
Hang on, right, so someone high profile has accused...
Fairly high profile.
Mid-profile has accused someone mid-profile, low profile or high profile?
Low profile.
No profile.
No profile.
No profile. I feel bad I'm drawing this now, but I'm not going to stop for anybody. Of being a sex offender.
Yeah, a paedophile in particular.
OK, right. And what is your... what's your query?
Well, he denies it.
Right.
Say he hasn't got a record, but I don't know what to do. Do I... On the one hand, the easiest thing for me to do would be to unfollow this guy and block him.
Right, yep.
But on the other hand, it's one person's word against another, and I don't want to commit an injustice against an innocent person if they've been falsely accused. You could ask
where they got their evidence from.
I could do that, but it wasn't a conversation I was involved in. It was something that I noticed just randomly, and I feel like I'm intruding in on that conversation.
How does this accusation make you feel?
I won't deny it. It makes me very uneasy because no one in their right mind wants to consort with paedophiles.
No. So you're worried this person might be a paedophile?
Yeah, it might be, and it's incredibly shallow on my part, but I have to be honest.
Well, there's nothing shallow about not liking paedophiles. OK. So you're worried that this person might be a paedophile. And I know you won't give us any clues as to who they are. We don't want to play that game. No. Although we are playing that game in our heads. We all are. Well, this mid-profile person, are they generally pretty spot on?
What I can say about this mid-profile person is that they themselves have been convicted of a criminal offence.
Okay.
And are currently involved in a private war with members of senior.
Okay. Well, I would just leave it and see what happens.
Well,
people often. Was it the word nonce?
No, it was the word sex offenders register for being a paedophile. That phrase that set off alarm bells.
And did the low profile person respond?
Yeah, and completely denied it.
Well,
and I'm sort of caught between two stools because on the one hand, want nothing to do with paedophiles, but on the other hand, I have an intense sense of what it's like to be the victim of an injustice. And if this person has been falsely accused,
well, you do
and denies it, and I cut him out on the basis of the word of someone whose opinion I don't value most of the time.
You do know, Jonathan, that people go on Twitter and do hurl out the worst insults ever.
Oh, we're actually talking about something in the real world, though.
Yeah, I know. And so you referring to Joe Cox as the C word? That's not the real world. Was that the real world or not the real world? I'm curious.
The insult is not the real world. The actual event is real.
So let's get the level of insult correct. So this mid-profile person calling a no-profile person a paedophile on the sex offenders register is real world. You calling Joe Cox shortly after she was murdered the C word, that's not the real world. I just want to get this right because I'm finding it a bit confusing.
It's not real world because I didn't kill her.
No, but you did call her online shortly after she'd been murdered the C word.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, thanks for calling. You see, and can you talk to the listener, Catherine? I'm going to, as promised, show the.
Can I? Oh, don't. Can I have a little moan about what just happened?
Yeah, please do.
So I went and sat down in my usual seated position. Yeah, that's how you sit down. And answered the phone. Anonymous number. Elderly gentleman.
Yeah, that's
sweet. What's that? Hairy elephant. And he said to me, he wanted to speak to George Galloway. And I said, I'm afraid George is gone now. We're on to a different programme. Well, I'm watching him on my computer. I said, well, maybe you're watching him on a delay because I can assure you that he finishes the show at 10 o'clock.
Yes, he does.
He said,
he has to.
He said, I think you're lying.
Oh.
You want me to be off.
Yeah, and you're thinking, well, you had typed on the screen.
At that point I hadn't.
You hadn't, okay.
And I said, no, not at all. It's just that he comes on between 7 and 10 and I'm afraid he's gone now. How much do they pay you? Sorry? Wow. How much do they pay you lie to people?
I do need to ask this. How much do they pay you? Because whatever it is, it's not enough.
Well, that's what I said to him. I said, it's not enough to sit here and listen to you being abusive.
You should have just put the phone down on him.
Well, after a while, I said, thanks very much, good night. And he said, I wish you a short and miserable life.
Guys, after last night's foray into the world of the bitter and the jealous. By the way, if you missed the last 10 minutes of last night's show, it was an absolute blinder. Andy called in. I put it on my YouTube channel, and if you go to YouTube and type in Iain Lee Angry Caller, it'll come up. Andy, although we twigged about... Oh, you twigged first, about 30 seconds, and about 2 minutes into it, I twigged who it was. Phoned up to berate me.
No, help you.
Help me with love and aggression.
By dissecting you on air.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's a joy to listen to. It's an absolute joy. And I know who this person is. Mm-hmm. And I'm really wondering... And this person now knows that we know who this person is, right? And I had 4 people get in touch with me and say, I just thought I've listened to that clip. Did you know that person was actually this person? And I went, thank you for confirming it. Yes, I did. 4 people, one of whom may have even worked with him up north. And, it just left me scratching my head.
What's that noise you just made?
That's my ponderous noise. It just left me scratching my head. And I was a little bit upset afterwards. And then I was driving home and I just started laughing. Just laughing, thinking, why has he done that?
I was livid.
You were livid. I was laughing. I woke up this morning confused, and then Matthew Stevenson, who often does these things, had sent me that as a little clip, and I thought, oh no, I'm going to put that on YouTube, and I'm going to own it because it's a brilliant bit of radio in as much as it's someone who thinks they're getting one over on me, failing miserably. I mean, he wanted me to get angry so that I would lose my temper. I wasn't at all.
Because let's be honest, for a couple of years now, he's been trying to get you into trouble.
When I left the BBC, he phoned up the BBC pretending to be from The Sun.
No. He phoned up The Sun trying to get us into trouble.
Oh, did
so
that,
it was a proper inquiry from The Sun.
Okay.
About this story.
Yeah.
Which was instantly disprovable and as far-fetched as you know what from China.
That was all nicking stuff.
No, about me passing on phone numbers so you could harass listeners. I said, well, OK, so where are these listeners?
Yeah. Didn't happen. So this guy is bitter and twisted, and we had a little run-in on Twitter recently, and then we made peace on Twitter, and then he sent me an email of him, an email of complaint he'd sent to my old boss about the new breakfast show, and I said, mate, I'm not interested in this. So, Andy, you're welcome to call in again. I'd suggest, come out and use your real name, but I'm not going to, but I'm not going to force him to use his real name because there's no point, because people can phone up and do what they want. Yeah. Anyway, that was yesterday, and it's on YouTube and it's in the podcast. Tonight's show is celebratory. It's we are embracing life. It is Friday. We are going to twat about on the radio. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
No messing around. Let's crack on with this. Yes, John.
Hello there, Ian. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, John.
Now, I don't want to bring the mood down, but yesterday you had quite a bit of a discussion about mental health.
Yes, we did.
And you and I, we both suffer from mental health issues. Mine is obsessive compulsive disorder.
Yes. Oh, you're the set. We had Saba, who was tweeting me on. Yes, Saba has OCD of a kind. Yes.
Now, on the positive point, you sound very cheerful today, which is good.
I'm up today. I'm up.
On the negative point, and again, I know it's Friday, so I don't want to bring the mood down. But how do we, and it's a serious question, how do we live our whole lives with all these ups and downs? Because it attacked me again yesterday.
Yeah.
It comes in waves, and when it gets you, it just floors you.
Well, how do you know? Well, you've made it this far. What are you, 47?
29.
No, really? You've got an old man's voice.
Yes.
That's going to cheer you up, isn't it? Okay, well, you've got 29 years so far. You've managed to last 29 years. What works for you when you go down, deeper and down?
It's just riding it out, but it's just the ferocity of it. It's like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
You have a ridiculous... I talked to your mate Jimmy O'Brien a couple of years ago, actually, when I was having a terrible attack, because he was talking about mental health.
Yes.
And it's an out-of-body... And I had it last week, and I thought I had everything under control. I went to the seaside.
Does the seaside work for you?
No, I mean, it was nice at the seaside. It was a nice, relaxing holiday, and then I got back, and it's always a ridiculous obsession to do with some nonsense, and this was about getting eye herpes.
Yeah,
and it sounds stupid, doesn't it? But anyway, it's
well, no. But I always what is the I pick up all these aphorisms and silly sayings, and it's not, and I can never quite remember them. It's not the elephants that are going to knock you down; it's the ants. And by that, it means that generally I can cope with big stuff, man. Big stuff I can kind of deal with. It's the small stuff like. I was going into a real panic last night on the way home because I totally misjudged the petrol. I've got a courtesy car, and so I don't really understand the petrol meter. And suddenly, I was halfway home, and it said I had 0 miles left. And I'm spinning into this panic thing. Oh, Christ, I've got to be up at 6, and I need to get home, and I've not got any petrol, and the AA are going to have to come. And I went into a panic. But I found a petrol station. I sorted the problem out. But it's the small things that tend to be the ones that scupper us.
But how do we deal with it? I did not get to sleep until 8 in the morning, and I had to be in at work for midday. So, and I was lying there, and the day was okay, and I'd rationalised, and I said, everyone there are lots of people who suffer from cold sores. This was this new obsession. It's been for a while, actually, but this was playing on my mind. And, I shared a towel with someone, anyway. And then...
Why were you sharing towels with someone, John? That's just beyond the pale. There's no need for sharing a towel.
No, it wasn't actually... this is a thing. That was one portion of the obsession. The actual obsession came through the fact that they were cooking me a meal.
With a towel?
As they were No. This is...
What's going on with this towel? Go on.
They were cooking me a meal, and as they were cooking the meal, I saw them sort of, taste the broth.
Oh, they were tasting the broth. You were sharing the broth.
And they put the spoon in, and this person suffered from cold sores.
Oh, they put it back in the broth!
That's not OCD, that's normal.
Oh,
I'd be worried about it as well.
John, that is disgusting!
But they were cooking it.
Well, they should have cleaned they should have either cleaned the spoon, got a fresh spoon, or done it when you weren't looking.
And then what happened is...
I don't think you can get cold sores from broth, though. I could be wrong.
Well, no,
you can get them from brothels.
I know about those.
Oh.
Heat destroys the herpes virus, but also it thrives in warm and damp conditions. But I was talking to a...
How does he destroy...
No, heat. Not heat.
I thought he said he destroys it. Okay, right, fine, yes.
No, heat, yeah.
Heat.
But I was talking to a beautiful French lady a couple of weeks ago.
Aren't they all? No.
And just in passing, she went, I sometimes suffer from the cold sores too. That's a non-OCD mind. That's a mental... I mean, she's deranged in other ways. She threw a glass at her boyfriend. But, that's a non-OCD mind. And I thought, I want to be like her.
Well, you can't. You're not. You're like you. And also, you have no idea what monkeys she's carrying on her back.
But it's interesting. Yesterday you talked about your chemical imbalance in your mind.
Yes.
And your show is starting to attract a lot of crazies. I don't know if I'm considered one, but lots of angry people who are giving you a harder time than I think you deserve.
Well, but that. Do you know what? As a fan of speech radio, I like listening to people getting a hard time. And by me getting a hard time, it helps me to solidify my opinions and my thoughts on things. And if I've got an argument that I'm not 100% sure on, then someone giving me a hard time is the best way of me knocking my idea into shape, so I know what I believe in and I know what I don't believe in.
But how are you so much better? Your mental health sounds a lot better. I know you can't
I don't know.
Mental health sounds better.
Today, I don't know. Today I'm up. Today I'm buzzing. Today I had a nice bit of time with the boys and I didn't snap with them. I only had a few hours, but I didn't snap with them. I had a little bit of time playing Xbox and just forgot everything. I've got a really good day on Sunday. I'm dreading tomorrow, because tomorrow I've got a day of nothing, literally nothing, and I'm dreading that. But Sunday's quite a busy day, and so I'm planning that. I've got a couple of small independent projects that are on the go, and I don't know, there was something about today that I could just focus everything into a positive beam of energy.
This sounds so bad because you've been so helpful. But I was listening to your show yesterday, and listening to you miserable.
Yeah,
I thought someone as successful as Iain Lee, someone who has worked with Sacha Baron Cohen, with Ricky Gervais, if he can be this mentally ill, so can I. And it almost comforted me. And I had 2 hours sleep. I was hallucinating.
Yeah,
I had various other bodily fluids I'm not going to talk about.
What?
But various things that happen in my inside.
Was there a discharge? I don't want to know.
No. And I thought, if Iain Lee can be this miserable, and it almost cheered me up, and then I went walking to the shops, and then I almost, again, there was
Hey, next week, one of the good things that came from yesterday's show, right, was, and I was miserable yesterday, and, I'm going through a tough time, and that's all groovy, man. But one of the good things that came from yesterday's show is I got in touch with the Samaritans this morning, because Kath and I went and met them last week. We went to a big do that the Samaritans are throwing. And we talked about getting someone on, either a spokesperson from the Samaritans, or someone that has used the Samaritans to help them in their life. And we talked about it, but we didn't pursue it. So today I chased it up, and today I sent an email saying, right, we had a conversation about mental health last night. It'd be great if we could if you could send some people our way. And she's going, oh, well, it's great because next week is Mental Health Day and it's I said, no, I don't want to do that. That doesn't work for me. If I go, right, well, it's October the 6th and it's National Anti-Suicide Day and we've got on the line, I as a listener switch off. But what I want to do is go, right, well, we had a phone call last week where someone said, mental health, you should just be able to pull yourself together. To show that that's not the case, we got Steve on the line. Steve, you called the Samaritans once. And we're going to do that. So that's kind of got me a bit fired up. But I don't know, John. I'm aware that I'm buzzing a little bit. I'm buzzing, and that's not good, because that means there's going to be a crash on the other side.
I get that as well. I get the lows. Mine isn't so much depression; it's obsessive, and then I get the highs. And I was listening to podcasts of Nick Ferrari a few weeks ago, and I was just angry.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I was just completely, I was like, I'm going to conquer the world, and then I started thinking about a cold sore. But it sounds odd, doesn't it?
To me, it sounds not. To me, I get it. To me, it's like, yeah. That would bring you down. John, all I can do is offer my experience, strength and hope. Yesterday I wanted to jump off a bridge. Today I am buzzing a little bit too much, but I shall put it into the next 2.5 hours of radio, and then whatever happens after that is irrelevant at the moment.
Well, God bless you for the chat, and when you see Nick Ferrari next, just say I said hi.
I will do. I see Nick, thank you, John. I see Nick about once every 2 years. And he's always, I don't know if he remembers my name, but I think he always calls me Love. Hello, Love. How you doing, Love?
He's quite, Get Out. The showbiz Get Out.
Theatrical. And we literally, last time I saw him I was presenting an award somewhere and he was hosting it. And I saw him as I went out to present the award and he went, hello, Love. How's it going? John, I will not pass on your best wishes to Nick Ferrari because he won't
say who's John.
Exactly. Derek and David, stay there. Now is a good time for you to call, dear listener. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yes, Derek.
Hi, Iain. Again.
What kind of cake?
I'm not sure.
There we go.
Eccles.
Eccles?
Jennifer Eccles, there's a song.
I'm slightly horrified.
Well, are you phoning in to apologise for your apology yesterday?
Because I'm slightly horrified to find that my original call is now on a podcast, and I don't like myself being videoed or pictured.
Yeah, well, you weren't videoed or pictured, so don't worry about that.
No, but I don't like my voice either. And no one told me. I'm 35 years old. No one told me that I sound like
52.
Mike Tyson and Louis Spencer's love child.
Yeah, you do sound bad.
I do.
The last two callers, it's youngish men with old men's voices. This is fantastic.
I've impediment, but I don't really know it.
What?
I've got a bit of a... Thanks.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
I said I've got a bit of a... It would seem that I've got a bit of a speech impediment.
What's your speech impediment? Well, just the age thing?
I don't know, I've got a bit of a lisp, I think.
No, you've not got a lisp. I don't know if anyone's ever told you, Derek, but you do have a slight Scottish accent.
I do.
Has that been mentioned before?
That has been mentioned.
Okay, you're aware of that.
Funnily enough, most people seem to think I'm Irish.
Well, I like it when I go to America and they think I'm either very, very posh or Australian.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
That's how that works. There's nothing... I do, when I go to America, I do...
Spoken Ian, but you don't sound like... an Australian.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking to American ears. When I go to America, I do ham up the Hugh Grant. Yes.
You go your way to be super British.
Yes, don't talk over me when I'm talking over you.
Sorry.
Yes, I'll have a large skinny latte, please, to go. Thank you so much. Yes, I am from Britain. Yes.
Right. Well, that last guy...
Derek, do you know how to have a conversation?
Not really.
No. And I said that. As I said that, I thought I'm saying that a bit aggressively, but
okay.
I'll say it, let me say it again less aggressively because I don't want to shame you. But
okay.
Do you Derek? Genuinely? Do you struggle to have conversations?
Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
Did I say this last night? I can't remember. I shut myself away for about 5.5 years. I didn't leave the house.
Oh, you did mention this. Right. Yeah. Why?
Because I started having panic attacks and I became pretty much agoraphobic overnight.
And if I ask anything you don't want to answer, you can tell me to get stuffed. Why did you start having panic attacks, do you think?
I have no idea, mate.
Was there a trigger? Did something happen? Did you get hit by a bus? Were you mugged? Was it something that happened when you were a kid?
I was on a train. I was on my way to see friends on a Friday night, and I just don't know. Might have been medication I was taking, ironically for mild anxiety. But
I was in the playground today, the pirate playground, if you must know, and there were two bigger boys. I'm going to say they were 9, but one was big. He looked like 11, but I think they were both 9, 8 or 9. And the smaller of the two, and I was kind of just listening to their conversation because my kid was off running, so I was looking at my phone. And they were climbing up on this. They were a bit big for the playground, really, but the smaller of the two said, "Oh, I had a really bad panic attack today in the playground." And his mate's going, "What do you have a panic attack for?" And he said, "Well, because I just realised that suddenly I was on my own and there was no one there." And I'm listening thinking, all right, well, hey, it's great that these two young boys are able to talk about this stuff. That's brilliant. It's horrifying if an 8, 9-year-old boy has genuinely had a panic attack. I'm making up that he misunderstands the phrase panic attack.
I was going to say, how does one define that?
Yeah, and that maybe he just got uncomfortable. I don't know. But it was really interesting. I was completely earwigging on their conversation, but it was interesting to hear. And the other lad didn't really know what to say, which was a shame.
No, that's quite horrible.
Well, but people often don't know what to say, and I don't think it's necessarily a male thing. I think that men and women. It
certainly makes me feel worse as a man to be having these things. I know that it's okay for women, but it makes me feel like less of a man, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. Yes, I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean.
Okay. Anyway, what was I called about?
What'd you call in about?
Well, if you don't mind, if you've got enough time. First of all, I was going to say, it sounds to me like you're getting through to Jonathan, because I don't think he'd have asked before about whether he should tweet something that's wrong or not, and now he's phoning up and asking you.
Well, he still didn't deny that, saying that Jo Cox, shortly after she murdered, was a C.
Well,
he still didn't deny that was...
Jonathan's right, but...
didn't admit that was inappropriate. I don't think I'm getting through to him. Who knows what's going on in that man's life,
The night that you probed him a little bit,
yes.
that kind of got to me, I must admit.
Yeah, we're all God's children.
Okay, well, another thing, and it seems a Friday, so to be a bit more cheery, Jackie Chan was why I was phoning you tonight.
Jackie Chan's phoning in tonight? When? What time?
No, he's not phoning in. Jackie Chan is one of the things I wanted to...
Here's the thing, right? Jackie Chan, he's 70 now, maybe even a bit older, right? And he's been making films in Hollywood. I think the first one was Battle Creek Brawl in about 1984.
Would that have been his uncle, in inverted commas, Raymond Chow? He's kind of...
Well, he was sold, wasn't he? He was sold to... No, it wasn't... No, anyway, I don't know. But he's been making films in Hollywood for about 35 years, right? Yes. How come his English is still awful? Because he's a really, really clever man. He's a really bright man. His English is terrible.
Well... He speaks Cantonese better than I can speak it.
Yeah, no, I know. But that's the language. That's not a mean. That's easy for him because he's Chinese. His English. His English is appalling.
But is it because it's his thing? Like Jean-Christophe Novelli, the French chef, has kept his French accent even though he's lived here probably for longer than he's lived there. It's their calling card, isn't it?
No, his calling card... What are you talking about? His calling card is wicked karate.
His national identity.
Hang on. His calling card is wicked karate and the outtakes at the end of films.
Yeah, sure.
Those are his calling cards.
But if he kicked you in and then went, right, that's you sorted,
no,
that
I'm
would
not
spoil
saying
it, wouldn't it?
He could still do it in a Chinese accent, and I might do one in a minute. Don't push me. But literally, I watch him in American films. I can't understand what he's saying. It's like when I went to that Indian doctor. That's not racist, because that actually happened. I cannot... Do you know what? Come on, Derek, you must have noticed it.
Yeah, of course I do.
Thank you.
I've understood these things, yeah.
Thank you. And I just think... Someone's telling me Jackie Chan is 62. He's older than 62. I just think if he wants to make another American movie...
Well, he has, and this is one of the things I want to...
Well, if he wants... No, if he wants to make another one... Then he better pass the English test, otherwise...
Well, his most recent one, don't get me wrong, he can probably speak English better than the actor he was in it with. Johnny Knoxville from Jackass?
Oh, yeah, he was in the film with Johnny Knoxville. That'll be rubbish.
It's just out, and it's terrible.
Derek, I'm going to cut you off, because we've come to the end of the conversation.
Jackie Chan can do what he wants and talk how he wants. He's Jackie Chan.
No, he can't. That's the thing. He can't. Not when. And there are so many I love Jackie Chan. He's brilliant, right? But there are so many ropey films. I remember once when I was staying at a girlfriend's shared house, and I was there for quite a long time. I was that annoying boyfriend that was just constantly there smoking roll-ups.
Did you smoke in the toilet like my annoying boyfriend?
I smoked all over the house. Everyone smoked in those days.
Yeah.
And everyone said, let's get a film tonight. And I went, let's get Jackie Chan's First Strike.
Oh, no wonder they hated you.
Well, yeah, exactly. They didn't hate me. And Jackie Chan's First Strike is a terrible film. There's no karate in it. If I'm watching a Jackie Chan film...
Is it about bowling?
No, it's about Russian spy planes. So I don't even want to think about it because it was just such a bad film. He's made some stinkers. He made a film with Lee Evans. Is that his name, Lee Evans?
The sweaty comedian.
Because that's my cousin's name as well.
Norman Wisdom type comedian.
He made a film with him called The Tuxedo. No, that was the Tuxedo?
Yeah.
Him? He's made some bloody... He made a film with Steve Coogan.
He's taken the money. That's
yeah, exactly. Well, listen, if let me say this so you can understand it, Mr. Chan. If you want to take the money, you learn the English.
You say that when he's in here and watch him kick 7 bells
We're going to go to a break now. Don't play.
Late night Iain Lee. Unfiltered night talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
To our crew, right?
Yes.
So you could call and ask for the number for Pinkberry.
Okay.
See if they understand Pinkberry. That should be easy, though. All right. So just say Hollywood.
Automated directory assistant.
California.
What city and state, please?
Hollywood, California.
That's good.
That's Hollywood, California, right?
Pinkberry.
Sorry, I didn't understand. Did I get the city and state right?
Yes.
Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Are you looking for a business, government, or residential listing?
I don't understand what you're saying. Business.
All right. What listing?
What? Pinkberry.
Sorry, what was that listing?
Pinkberry.
Let me transfer you to an operator.
You see?
Dissed by a machine.
Racist. Yes, Will.
Ian, you should know better than this. He's 62.
Well, I thought he turned 70 recently.
You can't write him off. That's 8 years difference. He's 62 and he's got $300 million in the bank.
Ka-ching. He can't speak English, though, and that's not me being racist. But he can't speak English, can he?
Not very well, but you know who I've been rediscovering Steven Seagal recently.
What? That shouldn't take long.
Oh, Will. Well, I'm a cook. Oh, is that what he said? No, he goes, I'm a cook. He's got quite a high voice, hasn't he, Steven Seagal?
The crazy thing about Seagal, he was almost bald on top in 88, and now he's got a head of hair that would, I don't know, make somebody feel pretty proud about themselves. He's got so much hair.
Isn't he best friends with Kim Jong-un? Is that right?
Yeah, he's really good pals with Putin.
Putin, that's it. Putin.
He hangs out in Kazakhstan, and there's some incredible videos of him doing all sorts of traditional Kazakhstani dancing on YouTube if you've got nothing better to do in the evenings like me.
Well, now you're at work, Will. He's got a band as well, and his band come over here every few years.
They're called Thunderbox. I saw them when they came to Bristol a couple of years ago.
Whoa, what are they called?
Thunderbox.
What an idiot.
Did you pay to go and see them, or did you get freebies?
Of course I got freebies. I wouldn't be paying for that crap, would I?
I think I got freebies for that, and I think I turned them down. And what was... Does he rock?
No.
No? Okay.
He thinks he does. He plays blues. So there was one moment in it which was like a 12-minute blues solo.
Oh, gosh.
All I wanted was for somebody to walk out on stage and him to do that little sort of taekwondo throw on them. That would have been really cool, but it didn't happen.
Well, the actors that are in bands, they don't... When they're in bands, they're not actors, they're in bands. There's a brilliant clip of Billy Bob Thornton being interviewed, I think by an Australian breakfast show, and they want to, got the band there because his band are doing a tour. And the guy asks him about movies and stuff, and he just sits there and stares at him and refuses to reply. So then he asks another question, and he just refuses to reply. And so he goes, any of the other band want to talk to me? And it's just, this is what they do, these...
Kevin Bacon is in a band of some nature, or was in a band of some nature. I'm trying to remember who they were.
Johnny Depp and Keanu Reeves were in separate bands.
Jared Leto.
Hugh Laurie, he's been in a couple of Hollywood bands, I think.
He's quite good, isn't he, Hugh Laurie?
Yeah, I think he's probably more talented than Seagal.
Keanu Reeves' band, wasn't it called something like One Man Dog or some...
Wild Stallions.
No, don't tell me. Come on, we're having a serious conversation here about actors that have been in bands. 0844 499 1000 if anybody can name any other. The thing about Jackie Chan, right? I love Jackie Chan, and I think he's an absolute legend and a hero, and I'm a huge fan. And the early kind of chop socky films that he did in Hong Kong, Drunken Master and Young Master and all of that, I think they're superb. I love Rumble in the Bronx. I love some of his early American films, but he's not done a decent film for about 15, 20 years, has he? He churns them out.
The Bronx was an Australian film, by the way, if you want to be really nerdy.
If you want to get really, really nerdy, it was filmed in Canada.
Was it?
It was filmed, I believe it was filmed in Montreal, because it's set obviously in the Bronx in New York, but there's a scene where the house is being destroyed from the outside, you can see mountains in the background. So I think that was Canada.
Okay. For tax purposes. But he's kind of like Woody Allen in that he just churns out 3 films a year, and maybe once every 3 or 4 years there'll be a decent one in there. Yeah, that's like, I've been waiting for a good Seagal movie for years. He's not had a film in the cinema.
He's not had a good film
since
ever.
2000. You know what? He's coming back to Above the Law, or Nico, which was the film he did in '88. Apparently he's going to play him 20 or 30 years on, and he's going to be about 20 stone heavier as well, so...
Here's the thing. I don't think I've ever seen a Seagal film all the way through.
I saw that one where Erica Eleniak comes out of the cake.
Under Siege, what a classic.
Wow, Will, you're really surprising me. This isn't a passing fancy. You really do know your Seagal.
Ian, you know me well enough to know that I get into all sorts of rubbish. I do this, I'll talk about anything and I'll get enthusiastic about it, and for a while I was researching the life of Seagal. I had nothing better to do with my life.
Well, it's listen. If we ever do need to, if I'm ever on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Seagal comes up, can I use you as my phone a friend?
You've got my number.
Nice one, Will. Thank you, man.
Thanks, mate.
Bye bye. There we go. Isn't it funny? I don't think, and I was a boy in the 90s with, living with other boys. Then we had VHS video machines. I don't think I've ever seen a Seagal film all the way through. I feel like I've seen the one on the train, but I don't know if I have seen the one on the train.
I saw the one with the cake and Erica Eleniak because I lived with some boys and they were meatheads.
I loved, and this was it Jean-Claude Van Damme? No Retreat, No Surrender. That's a classic movie. Isn't that the one where Bruce Lee, the ghost of Bruce Lee, teaches him how to fight? The ghost of Bruce Lee teaches him how to fight. I'm trying to get to come on the show, right? And this is niche. This is really niche, but it'll be fun. So Bruce Lee only made 5 movies, I think, 4.5 movies. So there's The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, Enter the Dragon. Then he died halfway through Game of Death, and they remade it with lookalikes, and it's just awful. But apart from when he comes on the screen, it's like, oh yeah. There's a brilliant scene where there's a brilliant scene where there's a picture of, they use lookalikes and footage from old films to make it look like he's not dead. And there's a scene where he's looking in the mirror, but they've just stuck a picture of Bruce Lee on the mirror, and the guy is sat so his face is, it's really weird. And bizarrely, here's the ironic twist. I will come to you, David and Craig, in a bit. Here's the ironic twist. In the film, The Game of Death, that was made after Bruce Lee died, he fakes his own death in it. Okay. But he fakes his death by, in a scene where he's doing a jump to the camera, and there's like all these people with fake guns, right? But one of the people has got real bullets in the gun and shoots him,
right? And he gets really badly scarred.
Yeah.
And that's why they can say he's dead. He's not. He didn't die. But that's how Brandon Lee died in real life. He was doing a scene. He was doing a karate jump. Guns were fired at him. One of them shot him and killed him. That's movie irony. Anyway, there's a phenomenon that of so Bruce Lee made 5 films, but there are loads of, it's called Bruceploitation.
Mm-hmm.
There are loads of Bruce Lee lookalikes. Now, there's a guy called Bruce Lee. It's pronounced Lee, but it's spelled L-I. So I'm just saying that for clarity.
Oh, right, okay.
Who does really look like Bruce Lee. He looks like him, right? But he wanted to be a martial arts star on his own. The producers would say, no worries, this film, that was the last one where you're going to be a Bruce Lee lookalike. This one we're going to do your real name, okay? So he'd make the film, and then he'd, like, go to the cinema, and it would be like, Bruce Lee stars back from the grave. But there's loads of them. There's Dragon Lee, there's Bronson Lee, there's Bruce Lee, spelled L-E-A, and they're basically working on the premise that all Chinese men look the same.
Incredible.
It's amazing. And in nearly all of those films, in some of those films, they're playing Bruce Lee. In some of those, there's one called Bruce Lee Fights Back from Beyond the Grave, which is brilliant. This is an amazing film.
That must be a long poster.
I'll show you the trailer during the next break. But there, I can't remember what I was going to say. Bruce Lee lookalikes. Oh yeah, quite often you'll see, in most of the films, you'll see dead Bruce Lee in his open coffin from the funeral. They'll whack that footage in. It's the weirdest thing.
Blimey.
The weirdest thing. There's a guy writing a book about it. I'm going to try and get him on. David!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 David.
I just wanted to sort of drag out the conversation about last night's disturbing phone call, if possible. Just to make it slightly longer than it needs to be.
Okay.
I listen to the podcast every day.
Yeah.
And please don't take this the wrong way, but I was never
don't
really
take this the wrong way, but
I was never really sure what about the podcast it was that was compelling me to come back every day.
Okay.
Most of the podcasts that I listen to are quite kind of educational, but there was something about your.
Oh, David, we've lost you.
Hey, can you hear me?
David, yeah, go back to where you were, because we lost
okay.
you. We got you now.
So there was something that was kind of compelling me to come back every day, and I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah.
And it was during your call last night, which was that you told Andy that he didn't like that you were being honest.
Yeah.
And that is what's special about the show. It's so rare to hear people speaking really honestly.
Sorry, carry on. Did you have something else to say?
Well, it kind of fits in with a pet theory that I have that basically honesty can solve most of the problems in the world.
Well, gosh.
Yeah.
We've only got 3 minutes and 50 seconds, so we can't explore that side of it. But yeah, it really, Andy's call last night really helped me clarify that. And yesterday's show was a miserable show, but I felt miserable and I couldn't come in and fake it. And maybe that's to my, that will be my downfall at this place, possibly. I don't know. But
I hope not.
Well, I don't know. We've got new bosses coming in. They might not want to hear a middle-aged man who's having a midlife crisis and feeling suicidal at night. They might not. I don't know. But yeah. Catherine and I, we're working on it in the last place, but we're really striving to do a show that, it's honest. That it's honest, yeah. And we're working towards celebratory as opposed to negative, because negative radio sells, man. But we don't need to be. I think partly for my own sanity and my own sake, I have to be honest, and I'm getting lots of people getting in touch saying they appreciate it and it's helped them. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it to help people. If it does, that's a lovely byproduct. And there's no point in me coming on and faking it and faking anger about Muslims and faking anger about immigrants and,
People can smell that anyway, can't they? People can smell when you're not being authentic, and you can't keep it up night after night. It's ridiculous. And there's something special about this time of night as well, I think. There's something sort of more intimate about it.
Can I give another perspective as well? Because I actually work on with mental health services in sort of welfare to work, and we run some support groups. And sometimes somebody will put themselves in a really vulnerable position and disclose something really personal. And you can see the rest of the group react to that with a kind of realisation that they experience the same thing. And it's like you see 6 people lose that weight off their shoulders at the same time. And I kind of feel like you can do that to thousands of people if you're kind of...
No, I do. I'm just kicking it. I'm taking it on board what you said and kicking it around in my head. I want to be careful that we're not. I don't want to make it sound like I've got ideas above my station, and I don't want to make it sound like I think that this show is, is the cure for depression and is the that I have the power to fix people with mental health problems. I don't. I'm just a bloke that's going through this stuff, and all I can do is share my experience, strength, and hope, and maybe some of it will connect, and maybe some of it won't connect, and maybe it won't be successful in the long run. But I take on board what you're saying, and I appreciate you sharing that with me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice one, David. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Speak soon, mate. Have a nice weekend. I appreciate that. Again, that call last night really helped me clarify. I've only got 50 seconds. So, Craig, I'll come to you after the break. Clarify what I'm trying to do. And I think I might kind of write, not a manifesto, but a little something, just to give me a bit of clarity of thought. In the honesty is the thing, and trying to do a show where I want every night to be different. Every night to be different. Imagine that. A radio show. I mean, how have we done so far? 200 shows, 150 shows? I want to do a show where every single night is different. Now, that is quite possibly impossible. But I want to have a go. And last night's show was unlike any other show we've done before. Excuse me. It feels like tonight's show is different from any show we've done before, and you turn it on and you don't know what you're going to get. Whether you're going to get some heavy stuff or whether you're going to get Will Guyatt phoning in to talk about Steven Seagal movies. We just don't know. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio. We'll get you talking. Talk Radio.
Craig, you'll be up next. You could be on as well, dear listener. 0844 499 1000. We'll talk about Gogglebox in a minute, because I have never seen it until tonight, and it's a stinker.
No, it's not.
Shut up. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Taking a shower, you can borrow my bathroom. And when I'm asleep, I dream you're moving next week. I crumple the note and say to put in some shoebox of lies. It's under my bed, it's never been read. It's in with my school stuff and my mom never cleans that from my first little fib. When I still wore a bib, to my latest attempt at pretending I'm someone who's not 17 and doesn't know what you mean. When talk turns to single, I'm also stilting on my shoebox. The shoebox of lies. The shoebox of lies. Did somebody tell you this is how it's supposed to be? Or that you just find it you don't want any more from me? Was it something I said, or was it something you read that's making me think that I should never have come here? I can offer you lies, I can tell you goodbye, I can tell you I'm sorry, but I can't tell the truth, dear. And what if I could? Would it do any good? You'll still never get to see the contents of the shoebox. The shoebox of lies. The shoebox of lies. So 1990, and it's 1994. Leave this world behind me, 'cause you don't want me
Let's have it, Craig.
Well, I'm phoned up to talk about sci-fi and time travel.
Yes.
But as everyone's talking a bit about yesterday's show, I've just got a little bit to say about it.
Yes.
Isn't it great how everyone's calling in and this is building a community now?
Yes, that's part of the plan, is to build a community. And even if you're not calling in, dear listener, and most people don't call in, it's a tiny percentage of the listenership that call in. And I really hope, I was going to ask the people that don't call in if they could call in to let me know if this is working, but that's ridiculous. But even if you don't call in, and I'm talking to you now, you who doesn't call in, right? You're still part of the community, and I hope that is coming across, that you feel part of the community that this show is creating. This is unlike any other phone-in show or any other radio show or any other late-night show anywhere in the world, right? In that Kath and myself and Ed are trying to build a community based on honesty and trust. Now, it might not work. And some nights the show doesn't work. Imagine that, Craig. Something where it's okay to fail. Imagine. It's okay if the show doesn't work some nights. I'm all right with that. Very rarely do I go home and think, well, the show's never going to work again. Kath, can you try that microphone, please?
Yeah.
Even though Ed is gone, so we'll sort that out. Because when that one opens, it sounds bobbins in my ears. Nothing is allowed to fail anymore. TV shows aren't allowed to fail. They go through committees and boards, and the parliamentary parties aren't allowed to fail because they have all these focus groups that tell you what policies and what leaders they like. This is probably the only thing where it's okay if it fails. And it'll do me. It'll do me, Craig.
Well, that's it. I used to listen to you on Virgin. I never phoned in. It's only since you've been here that I've started phoning in.
Yeah.
And, it's, you had the whole thing going there as well.
Well, we're trying, man. We're trying. And it's not for everybody. I mean, someone posted on Digital Spy today, last night's show was boring. Well, last night's show was no fun. Well, you know what? You could have switched it off. If after 40 minutes it was proving to be no fun, you could have switched off. It's interesting they chose to stick with it. And also, last night's show is, again, unlike any show that we've done so far in this run. I was battered yesterday, Craig. I was absolutely battered. I was in pieces. But I could have phoned in sick, and I nearly phoned in sick, but I thought, no. Do you know what? I'm going to come in and see what it sounds like. Because people don't come in and work when they're like that, and I was able to get out of bed and come in. I thought, I'm going to see what it sounds like. Maybe it'll make me feel a bit better. Well, I don't know. And it did, actually. It did make me feel a bit better. So I'm glad I did.
And I've said before, listening to you helps. I don't like talking about my mental health issues. I don't like opening that box. But, seeing someone like you go to work on a bad day, I think, oh, well, he's done it. And I'm not saying you're anything special or anything like that. I'm just saying it's an example.
I'm also aware that I have had days where I can't come to work and I've phoned in. I'm also aware that, really, obviously I do a little bit more, but really, I work for 3 hours a night. If I want to, I can work for once you do all the ad breaks and play the songs, I'm working for about 2.5 hours a night. And that is not the same as someone who sits in an office from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the evening feeling that way. And that is a different experience for them. But, so I'm aware that I'm similar to a lot of people, but I'm also very, very different to a lot of people.
But having free time is also a burden sometimes.
Yeah, tell me about it, man. I've got a whole day tomorrow of nothing. It's my mum's birthday on Sunday, but I'm doing this record launch, so I can't really see her. So I might go and see her tomorrow, but part of me thinks I can't face it. So we'll see what happens.
Well, be kind to yourself. That's what people should tell everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, Craig.
Right, you haven't seen Ark as well now, that movie.
Oh, I loved it. So it was Sarah Sophie who phoned in.
Yeah, amazing recommendation.
Recommended Ark, ARQ, on Netflix. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
Have you seen Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise?
Is that the one where he repeats the same day over and over again?
Yeah.
Is that the one where they're in pods in the sky and there's like 100 Tom Cruises scattered around the world?
No, that's the other film with Tom Cruise again. That's another film.
Okay, it's another film, right?
Tom
okay.
Cruise, yeah, that one.
Okay,
This one is there's like alien, like sort of insect creatures attacking.
I've not seen that one. No, is it good?
Well, I thought you saw every time travel movie. What's this?
Technically, it's not. I don't consider repeating the same day over and over a time travel. I don't consider Groundhog Day a time travel movie.
What's that then? Time loop? Is that different?
It's time loop. I mean, it's a romantic comedy, really.
Well, Edge of Tomorrow is surprisingly good.
Okay, I'll have that.
And also Source Code with Jake Gyllenhaal.
That is not time travel, but yes, I have seen it. Who directed that? Do you know?
I can't remember.
Duncan Jones. Who is Duncan Jones?
Oh, yeah, Bowie's son.
David Bowie's son. Yeah. He directed that. But that's not time travel because it's not real.
At the end of it.
No, it's not.
No, because at the end of it, you find out every time he restarts, there's an alternate universe.
No, he's not. It's all in his brain. It's not real.
Because at the end of it, he meets the person.
No, he doesn't know.
Yeah, well, he does, but we
No, he doesn't. It's all in his head. It doesn't exist.
No, the twist of the end is it's every time he restarts, an alternate universe.
Incorrect data. The twist at the end is that when they switch that off, his world will stop existing. But for the moment when they switch it off, it's so slow in his world. God, this is boring. That it goes on for infinity.
Okay, well. We'll agree to disagree.
Well, we won't agree to disagree. I am right.
I'll agree to disagree.
Okay, fine. Well, I'll agree that I am right then.
So speaking of Jake Gyllenhaal, have you seen Enemy?
It's a soft G. It's Gyllenhaal.
I don't know.
Jake Gyllenhaal, isn't it?
Have you seen Enemy? A movie he's done.
Is that the one where there are 100 Tom Cruises all around the world?
No, that's when there's 2 of him.
I've not seen that. But how many? All right, how many films are there where there are more of than one of the man? Multiplicity. I start you with multiplicity. Let's play it. Let's play the game. Right, Craig, you go first. A film where there's more than one of the man or woman, but there won't be.
Enemy.
Right, was it?
Enemy.
All right, multiplicity. Catherine.
Bill and Ted.
Which one?
Bogus Journey.
Okay.
Although they're robots.
No, hang on a minute. Yeah, Bogus Journeys. Is that the second one?
Yeah, they're robots. So
they are
Excellent Adventure.
They're robots. Yeah, so you got to say Excellent Adventure.
Excellent Adventure.
That's the last time we're going to go soft on you. Next time, Craig and I are going to go hard on you, aren't we, Craig?
I'm not going to be any good at this. My mind's gone blank, so I'm out already.
Well, what about the Tom Cruise one, where there are 100 Tom Cruises around the world?
Well, there's only him every time.
Yeah, but...
well, yeah, but I can't remember the name of that.
What?
You brought it up, and I can't remember the name of it.
We'll have it. I'm going to go soft on you, but we'll go. I'm going to go in hard on you.
I'll be out next go.
I'm going to go in hard next time, Craig. Okay?
I'll be out next time.
All right. Do they have to be played? If it's the same person, do they have to be played by the same actor?
No.
Schenectady, New York. That's a great film.
Isn't there one called Doppelganger?
You can't just say that if you don't know it.
There should be. No, I think there is.
All right, I'll let you have that one. Go on, Craig. Ooh, this is a good game. This is a bit more cerebral than our other poker games. This is a good game.
Well, there's more than one person.
There's more than one
of the man or woman.
But I don't think there are any with the woman.
Oh.
You're on about, like, where there's, like, pods, like in that film.
What?
Where there's loads of Tom Cruises, yeah.
No, the one with Sutherland bloke.
No, that's it. Oh, yeah. Invasion of the...
Body Snatchers.
Yeah, I'll give you that, yeah. All right.
Okay.
Here's one, another one directed by Duncan Jones. Moon.
Okay.
Where there are an infinite number of Sam Rockwells. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, it is brilliant. It's where Sam Rockwell's on the moon base, but then another Sam Rockwell appears. He's like, what the flip? He thinks he's going mad. Is he going mad? Or are there like an infinite number of clones of him because that body can only last for 2 years? So Moon. Catherine.
What's that one with Jeremy Irons in and he's like a dentist and he's got an evil twin cell, and it's both Jeremy Irons.
Oh, I'm not really buying this, I'm afraid.
It's true, it's a true story.
No, I'm afraid you're out.
Damn it!
Craig?
That one where he's the man and the woman, he's got his own kid.
The one where he's the man and the woman...
Where he's his own kid, that one.
He's the man and the woman, and he's his own child.
Is it the Adam Sandler film?
No, the one with... You were on about it the other day.
Can you stop Googling films, please, Kath, because you're out anyway?
I know, I'm just checking on my Jeremy Irons theory.
The one where he's a man...
The time travel one, where he's the man and the woman, and he's in the pub.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that one, yeah.
Ethan Hawke, is it?
Was it?
Ethan Hawke was the guy in it?
I don't think it was called that. It was called, like, Paradox or something, wasn't it? All right, if we're doing that then...
I'm not going to win anymore.
If we're doing that then, Looper.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, it's two Bruce Willises. Although the younger fella looks like Robert De Niro.
I've just thought of a really good
you
one.
come back in then.
Tell me again, Kath.
Triangle.
Whoa,
There's loads of her.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And that film I was thinking of was Dead Ringers, and he wasn't a dentist. What a mistake could I make her? He was a gynaecologist.
There we go, you see.
They were twins, weren't they?
Get those things wrong, you'll be... Well, the twins are not the same people. It's got to be the same person.
It's Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah, but he was a twin, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, but that's not the same person. That's different people.
I mean, technically, they're the same egg split, so they are the same person.
Well, they're not. I know twins, and they're different people. You can shake their hands at the same time.
My mum's a twin, and my auntie is her sister, and therefore kind of my mum.
There's a court case in America where one twin has taken the rap for the murder of another. Have you seen that recently?
Hang on, has the twin murdered the other twin, or has the other twin murdered someone and the first twin is the one in trouble?
They're both murderers.
Flipping it, what a family.
And they're both in a biker gang. One's gone through all his appeals, so he's definitely in prison for life.
Yeah.
So he's now saying that he's the one that killed another bloke who the other twin is in prison for at the minute.
I watched, and I was very excited because I knew this was coming, and I forgot it was coming today, and I got an email from Netflix saying a new movie has been added to our database.
Oh, yeah, what's that?
The Amanda Knox. The Amanda Knox documentary, Foxy Knoxy. I'm only halfway through it. Don't tell me what happens! I know what happens. It's half interesting, although I'm getting a little bit bored of murder documentaries on Netflix and Amazon. Guys, there are other genres out there. But it's quite... What I didn't know was she called herself Foxy Knoxy. That was her MySpace name.
Yeah.
I thought the papers had made it up, because she's not that foxy.
Well, not after all that time in prison,
Well, no,
but it
she's
would
not-
be. Very hard to keep up the maintenance.
But what is interesting is... I can't work out if she did it or not.
No.
Doubt she did it.
I missed a bit as well, because there was some bits where it was Italian and there were subtitles, and I went
Well,
to
the one guy admitted it.
Yeah.
What? That's the end of that,
Was
isn't
it the black guy that admitted it, or was it the
Yeah.
boyfriend? Because the boyfriend...
Black guy admitted it.
But the boyfriend admitted that she'd been lying and she'd done it.
Yeah, but the forensic on the knife was dodgy, wasn't it?
Weren't the Italian police like smacking him about and stuff?
Oh, well, I mean, I got to the bit, I think the black guy was saying that he did it, but it was in Italian and I was hungry, so I went and got some brioche from the kitchen,
Well,
and
that
I
was
came back
fundamental
and
by the sound of things.
I came back and I couldn't really pick up the story anymore, so I might have to rewind it a bit. Thank you, Craig. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Technical stuff. 0844 499 1000. This is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. Catherine, the producer, is sat in here. Ed is through there. Good evening, Ed. Ed, now, I never phoned up Tom, who was going to your home city of Auckland.
Yeah.
But did you see he was talking to my sister on Twitter?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I missed that bit.
Oh.
You need to get involved.
During the next break,
Yep.
I'll patch you three into a Twitter conversation so you can sort out tickets for Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, for your family in Auckland.
Sweet as.
How's about them apples?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
Thanks, Ian.
That's what we're going to do. That'll be £25 per ticket, please.
Send the bill to
Plus
Ricky Freelove.
Booking charge. Gatford!
Yo.
Bum rush the show.
You do that flashback there. Can you indulge me for 30 seconds?
25.
Okay.
I was going to say that I was going to get him down to a cold 7.
Well, you've run out.
Okay.
Of time now.
Keanu Reeves' band was Dogstar.
Dogstar. I said that.
You said well, yeah, close. And
no, I said that.
Okay. Why do I do this?
Macaulay Culkin is in a band where they sing Don't Say It. Lou Reed. What about Velvet Underground songs, but with pizza in the title?
Okay.
That's true.
Bruce Willis.
Huh?
Bruce Willis.
What about him?
He's another actor that went on to do singing.
No. That wasn't the question.
Well, actors in bands, wasn't it?
Yeah, correct. So
Not actors in front of bands, do
no,
you?
not actors singing. I know. Yeah, the return of Bruno. Yeah, we all know that. No, it's not what we're talking about. He plays the harmonica. We all know that. We all know.
That's the thing, you didn't clarify the topic.
Clarified
it. Wasn't really a topic.
You're the only person, Gatford, that's got it wrong.
3 seconds.
And I'm about to get the other one wrong about the films.
Of course you are. You're a muppet.
Because I was going to say Dave, where Kevin Kline plays a person who has to impersonate the president, and he plays both the president and the person who has to impersonate him.
No, we're not having lookalikes, because then you could have pretty much every Jerry Lewis film from 1962 onwards, because he looks like the bad guy.
Why don't I get it?
Yeah.
I used to get it.
Then you could say, you'd go, what about Michael Knight and his evil twin stepbrother?
Garth.
And then where does Back to the Future 2 fit in, where you've got two Michael J. Foxes playing the same person?
Yes, that's it.
Because they're the same person.
They're the same person. You've got it.
Yes.
But you were disqualified because you mentioned Dave.
Yeah, it's a bad film. I know that. Right, on to the serious bit.
Uh-oh. You mean that wasn't serious? Wow.
That was kind of semi.
You got a semi?
I have really struggled this week with the question.
Hang on a second. Okay. What's that? This is the reason why. Who sang "You're Beautiful"?
James Blunt. Send Me by the Sea.
Yeah, exactly. This is the reason that James Blunt was a one-hit wonder. Beautiful. It's a brilliant song. Whatever you think of it, even if you don't like it, it is a brilliant ballad. It's
about stalking.
Well, maybe, but but some of the best songs
Admiration.
It's a spot on, pretty perfect song, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the follow-up was about having a semi by the sea.
3 men having a semi.
And everybody is going, well, we know he means semi-detached house, but in our head it's a semi-erect, 3 semi-erect peni. Peanuts, I think, is the plural of penis. Peanuts, isn't it? And since then, he couldn't get arrested. He's brilliant on Twitter. Twitter don't pay the bills.
Yeah, he's a trained assassin.
Well, that's true. Well, he probably does private kills for hire. But he should never do a song about a semi by the sea. 1, 2, or 3. No one wants to hear about Peanuts.
So is that a topic about one-hit wonders?
No.
See, I'm not getting this show at the moment.
Stop extrapolating.
Another host would have turned that into a weekly feature. I've just tossed it out. I've just tossed James Blunt.
What, like, as in Peanut songs coming out?
I've just tossed that one off. I have just tossed James Blunt off, and I'm leaving it at that. I'm not going in for seconds. I'm leaving it.
Leave it hanging.
There.
Yeah, give it a while. The serious bit. I've struggled this week with the question, how are you? I actually put it on Twitter before your conversation last night with Alex, Andy, whoever, whatever.
Yeah.
And it just hit me when you went into that whole bit about honesty.
Yeah.
My normal response to the question, how are you, is, I'm all right for a insert date here.
Yeah.
So, like, someone will say to me, how are you? I'm all right for a Friday.
That's your standard reply, is it?
That's my standard reply.
Isn't that funny?
I say, that's what my dad would say.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I say it. It's not what my dad would say at all. It's what I say. And I don't know why I say it. And I don't mean it.
Well,
it doesn't mean anything. Oh, I'm all right. Don't you think so?
It's nice. We all have our little riffs or our little set pieces that we say in various conversations. Like when I'm doing the show, if I have to fill for 25 seconds, I'll talk about the podcast. If you hear me talking about the podcast before the news, it means I've got 25 seconds to fill because I can make that script last 25 seconds. I've stopped going to Cafe Nero because I'm now going to a Costa because it's free parking. And there's a guy in there. He gets my order wrong every time. I always ask for the drink in a take-out cup, even though I'm going to have it in, but if I can have it in a take-out cup. He never does it in a take-out cup. And every time I go in there, right, And it's just when he does it, when the women do it, I don't react so much. But when he does it, I'll order the drink, and so the transaction has happened. I'm waiting for the drink, and he'll just look at me and go, "And how are you today, sir?" And I nearly told him today. I said, "Really? Right. Well, let me tell you."
You've often said this. Do you think he cares?
No. And what I say now is, I go, and I have the last couple of weeks or so. I've gone. I've had better days. Now I just go, "Yeah, I'm all right, thanks," because he doesn't. That's his little script. And my little bit of the script should be, if we're playing our roles correctly, should be, "Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. How you doing?" That's that performance.
Yeah.
That's that little scene. And it's the scene, the script is different with different people. If Kath asks me how I am today, it's a different scene to if the guy in Costa asks me. Or if my kids ask me, it's a different scene again altogether.
And it's mostly with work colleagues when I hate them asking, and then I hate myself when I answer it. Because I should be able to be moderately honest with these people.
Would it be appropriate to be honest with these people?
Yeah.
Then why don't...
I'm not going to... I mean, like, I couldn't turn around and say, well, I'm thoroughly... I mean, like, I wouldn't be brutally honest.
Yes.
I would be honest to a point.
What do you
think... If I was to say, I'm having a bad day, I don't think that would be the worst thing in the world.
Why don't you try it?
I'm scared of what they'll say and what they'll think of me, if I'm honest. I want them to like me, but I don't want them to...
But do you think they all live a perfect life themselves?
No, but the problem is that I work in an environment where people are expected to give over a persona of...
Gatford is very, very big in the porn industry.
Right.
So just as he's about to assume the position, and she goes, "You're right, Steak." Oh, I'm struggling. That's not really appropriate when
I believe it was impresario.
It's
impressive. I don't know.
But what could go wrong?
And that's the point. Is that's what I think afterwards is like. If I said I was having a bad day, would they hate me? Would they come back? Yes, of course they would, because they would come back the next day and go, "How are you?" Or "I need something." They wouldn't suddenly stop and walk past my office every day.
Why don't you? My suggestion would be, is on Monday or one day next week when you feel up to it, just try it. Just pick someone who you think will be the most accommodating, although you can never tell, and we can all be surprised by who's accommodating and who's an arse. And just say, right, if they ask me today, I am going to reveal this much of myself to them.
Them afterwards, was it okay for me to say that?
Say that again, because I can't, you broke up.
Sorry. Then be okay to ask them afterwards, was it okay that I said that, or do I just need to tell them and then leave it?
I'm trying to think how I would feel. We're talking about how would I feel? Someone that said, was that okay for me to say that? I would think
it's honest. It's honest. If that's how you feel, say it.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Okay.
But if you don't do, but then here's the thing. I'm suggesting you do it. Don't have to do it. And if you don't do it, don't beat yourself up. For not doing it. Because that you could spend a whole day all tense up going, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then the woman or the man, whoever it says, "How are you today, Gatford?" You go, "I'm fine. I'm as good as I can be for a Monday." Oh, balls.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, I know, but you see, I already know that when someone asks me that next week, I will answer that way because, as you say, it's the standard response.
But then that might not be the right person. You need to pick the right person and go with your gut.
I was actually waiting for a gut joke there.
No, I'm not going to do one.
Ian, if you don't mind stepping in, please.
No. But also, you just revealing that little bit of yourself might allow them to reveal a little bit of themselves. It might not, and it might make them uncomfortable, and that's fine as well. That's okay. If you say something that makes someone uncomfortable, I mean, if you notice that they're uncomfortable, you might want to apologise. I don't know, but as long as you're not saying, "Oh well, I sit at home at night and I cry and I want to cut myself," and that might be a little bit much.
I don't want to make it seem, like I'm either because I'm not a yo-yo person. I'm not a good one day, bad the next. I'm kind of fairly even.
I thought you said YOLO. You only live once. I thought. Wowzers.
I'm more a Rolo person than a YOLO.
There we
person.
go.
And you know, so I'm not expecting to be sort of saying to them, yes, I'm going to go home and cut myself. Please help me. I just want to not say the stupid line that I always say.
Well, you can.
Thank you. It's been helpful. And I'm not going to sit here and say, wow, a radio DJ told me to say that. I'm not going to, but...
No, I'm not a DJ, so you say that, you get smack in the chops. Can I ask you a question? And you don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
Uh-huh.
And I feel awkward asking it with Kat in it, but I'm going to ask it.
You have my permission.
Okay. Are you a bit lonely at the moment?
Yeah.
Now, your phone cut out there, but I think you said yes.
Sorry, I'll move. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm currently working... I was working in an office with one other person, and they've gone.
Yeah.
So I'm working in an office on my own, and I don't like it.
Mm.
And I'm trying to move, but it's taking time. And I don't like sitting in an office all day on my own.
Mm.
Which is why this came up, because people would come in and I'd say this thing, and then they'd ask me what they needed, and then they'd go away. And I'm like, well, I failed at that conversation. Because I feel like I did put up that nice defensive wall that said, please don't ask me how I really am. I'm just going to give you my sarky comedy answer. Now get to your point and get out.
Let us know how it goes next week.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen, then try not to beat yourself up, because it's a marathon, not a sprint, mate.
Okay. Thanks. That helps.
Cheers, my dears.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. By the way, I don't know. To quote Peter Talk in the great movie Head. By the way, if you want this book, and if you notice, I've deliberately curbed my monkeys talk recently because it bores people. But this book by Peter Mills, The Monkeys, the Head, and the 60s, basically, all it does is dissect their obscure 1968 flop film Head. It's flipping brilliant. I'm reading it really slowly because I'm savouring it, and I read like 3 pages before I go to bed, and I go, I want to read more, but I'm going to put it down. But it's brilliant. And there's the reason the Head is in my mind, because there's a brilliant bit where Peter Talk is talking to a Swami, this Eastern mystical guru who's supposed to look like the Maharishi, and he does this it goes on for about 5 or 6 minutes, this wonderful scene about speaking about the reality and belief and conditioning, and all forms of belief can be said to be the results of some form of conditioning, and where there is choice there is misery, and it goes on for ages, and then at the end he just says, but why should I speak, for I know nothing. Boom! It's such a great line. So what I'm saying there is, why should I speak? I don't know anything. Reese, Caddick, you'll be up next. 0844 499 1000.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0844 499 1000. Today's show, it feels like it's firing on all cylinders, and all the different strands are coming together in the way that I want them to. Caddick, Triss, stay there. You'll be up next. But first of all, it's Reese. Good evening, Reese. What kind of cake?
Hello. Hi, Ian. It's unfortunately it's not Reese, by the way. You're the guy that answered the phone. I said it was Bruce.
Why does it say Reese on my screen?
Because he said, in that case, I'm going to call you Reese for the rest of the...
Oh, no, so it is Reese?
No, it's Bruce.
So it's Reese, but hang on, did I say I was going to call you Reese?
Yeah.
Let's just call him, let's call him Roos. Brees. Brees. Go Brees Lightning! What you got for us, Brees?
I just wanted to pick your brain because I'm doing 2 charity autograph books at the moment. One for the YMCA in Warrington to help save it from closing down. And I just wondered, which is the most famous celebrity you've ever gone out to...
Hang on a second. There are 2 things here. Firstly, why are you asking me because I'm wicked? Secondly, what's the second charity?
It's the Shannon Bradshaw Trust in Warrington. It's for sick children with diseases.
Aye.
Because my very first charity book, which raised money in July. It raised £150, so I'm doing 2 now.
Oh, look at you, your charity hub. Who did you have in the last one?
People like Jeremy Corbyn, Nick Clegg.
Hang on, they're not celebrities.
True.
Well, what is this, you political groupie?
Billy Ocean.
Oh, no, that's good. Yeah, Billy Ocean. Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
Rick Astley.
Yeah, Rick Astley is isn't it amazing that Rick Astley is popular still and good for him, you know.
Yeah.
So
and who else did I have in there? I had quite a mixture of various. The Chuckle Brothers. Bernie Clifton.
Oh, I like Bernie Clifton. So what do you want? What do you want to know?
I just wondered who is the most famous person you've ever wanted to go out and get an autograph from.
Well, I'm really lucky that I quite often get to meet people that are heroes to me. So I've got stuff signed by Gene Simmons and stuff signed by Andy Partridge. I've got stuff signed by the Monkees, although I had to pay $100 to get Mike Nesmith to sign something. If I wanted my name on it, it would have cost an extra $40, which is outrageous, and I would only do that once. So I don't. I mean. Ringo, I asked Ringo for an autograph and he refused. That was when he had famously stopped signing things, which I think is fair enough.
Did you tell him, don't you know who I am?
Well, no, here's the thing, I was interviewing him and he walked, I'd been on TV that morning and he walked in, it was the coolest thing, he walked in and he pointed at me and loudly said, "I know who you are!" And I thought, yeah, that'll do me. Why, who are you thinking of guessing?
I don't know. I was any other pop stars like Robbie Williams or.
And how are you are you going to meet these people, or are you sending them letters, or what are you doing?
I just read the paper to see what shows are on, and just go and hope to meet them after or before the show.
Hey, that's not bad, is it?
Because we went to try and get Ronan Keating, but he just arrived, waved, and went in.
What a tosser! I've met Ronan; he's very nice, but it's a gamble, isn't it? Because you're not sure.
It is.
Would you not consider writing to somebody?
But he needs to sign the same book, doesn't he?
There are ways around it. If you could send them pages from the book and then stick them in, or something like that. As long as here's the thing: as long as you make it as easy as possible for that person by sending them the bit of paper you want them to sign and a stamped addressed envelope. Because I get asked sometimes for autographs, but I get sent letters, and to be honest, I try and reply, but I don't always reply. But if there is a bit of paper and a stamped addressed envelope, it's really hard for me not to reply, because it's there, it's all done. I've just got to fill it in and I'll pop it down the post box down the road. So that might be a way of getting, perhaps some bigger names that you might not bump into.
Because I tweeted Sean Williamson, Barry from EastEnders, as he keeps, and he tweeted back and said he'll be delighted to sign the book.
But Sean is again. I work with Sean because I'm on that kind of rung a little bit below him. He's delightful. He's delightful and he's charming. But if I was at an auction and there was an autograph book up for grabs and Barry's autograph was in it, I would probably take £20 off of my bid.
Although last night we went to a nightclub and got Phil Mitchell from EastEnders, Steve McFadden.
That's a bit better. That's a bit better.
Well, I go up in value.
Yeah. Look.
He's still in it. At least
he's still in it. That's. I mean, if you could get like whole EastEnders, the cast from EastEnders to sign something, and if you here's the thing, right? People like EastEnders people like charities like sick kids. So if you were to send a cast photo or an autograph book, if you were to send a blank autograph book with in a jiffy bag with an envelope and a stamp on it,
and a nice cover note,
and say, look, my name is Brees. I'm sometimes known as Bruce, sometimes known as Reese. It's very confusing.
Doesn't really matter.
Don't even put that, because that's gonna. If you put, I'm doing this thing. It's for these sick kiddies, and I'm trying to raise a few quid so that they can build this. I'm not asking for money. It would be just great if one day on set, if someone could just pass this around and then whack it in an envelope. Now, they may not reply.
Yeah.
But you never know. If you get the right person on the right day, you never know.
And if you don't ask, you don't get. That's what Anthea Turner told me.
You need to aim. Honestly, man, you're doing a brilliant job. Well done. You need to raise your sights a bit.
I do.
Go right to Robbie Williams, right to Paul McCartney.
I was just thinking, right to Macca. He
Yeah,
loves that stuff.
Right to, because you never with McCartney, you never know. You never know. He does all these little things. Right to. Bruce Forsyth, right? I don't watch TV, so I don't really know his bit. Right to Tess Daly, right to Claudia Winkleman, right to all of these people.
The Bake Off lot, get them quick.
Yeah, right to Mel and or go and stand outside. Whereabouts are you, Bruce?
In Sheffield.
Well, if you ever come down to London for a day, stand outside Broadcasting House, just off Oxford Circus. Just stand outside there for a few hours and have some balls, because people come and go from that. In and out of that all day. That's where they work. That's where, it's celebrity central,
Or how about coming to Talk Radio and getting you, and then going
listen, again, my autograph's worth about 10 pence. If you send me a thing with a Standards envelope, I'll sign it and I'll send it back. And I'll see if I can get, I'll see if I can get Paul Ross and Andy Goldstein, and Jason Cundy to sign it, because they're people that I will see. So I'm happy to do that.
I will. I'll do that for you.
Don't no one else do that, though.
Oh, thank you very much.
Nice one, man. Thank you very much indeed. Good luck. You just got to take a punt, and I'm sure the EastEnders people get inundated. But if you
make it easy, like you say,
it's hard to refuse sick kids. Sick kids. The YMCA, it's a great cause, but it's easier to refuse that. Sick kids, that just gets people dick. 0844 499 1000. Caddick, then Triss, then it could be you, dear listener. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I can't remember Carl Kennedy's real name. Is it Alan something? Anyway, I've interviewed him, and he's the nicest man. He plays in a band, and they play like Kaiser Chiefs. So, I saw them about 8 years ago, and they come out and they play Kaiser Chiefs. And it's really, it's fun. And they're quite a good little band. But can you tell that story on the radio?
Yeah, of course I can. When I was my, fourth year at university, I lived with 3 other girls. And one was called Caroline, and one was called Tracy, and the other one was called Sonia. Anyway, this doesn't concern Sonia, so let's put her on the back burner. Caroline started having some really rude dreams about Dr. Carl Kennedy.
He's a good-looking man, as was Susan Kennedy.
And this was around the time when they were happily married, before it all went pear-shaped in Neighbours, because she started thinking she was 15 or something, didn't she? She went off him.
Yeah.
And then he started going off with younger women.
And his daughter was beautiful as well.
And his son was.
Malcolm was the son, wasn't it? Yeah.
Anyway.
He was beautiful.
Family aside,
yes.
it was all about Dr. Carl for Caroline.
Libby.
Yes.
Libby.
Anyway, Dr. Carl was doing very rude things to Caroline.
Very bouncy, Libby. Really?
Yeah, but then she got sad, didn't she? Didn't something awful happen?
Oh, well, she was still bouncy when she was sad.
Didn't she marry someone who died?
Possibly.
Before they died, obviously.
Didn't, I wanna sex you up. Stefan Dennis.
Make it feel good.
Yeah, didn't he get robot legs?
Yes.
He got robot legs. And didn't the twins turn out to be evil? Wasn't one of the twins evil?
One didn't like him. Does that count?
And that's why he lost his legs. What about Des? You remember Des and his sideburns?
Des and Daphne.
And his sideburns. Oh. And then Des left, but he didn't become famous. But then the guy became...
Jim Dale.
No, not Jim. Well, Jim Dale, but the young lad who's in Memento.
Yeah.
He did, didn't he? Go on, sorry, tell us.
Anyway, so Carl Kennedy's doing all sorts to Caroline in her dreams.
In the dream, yeah.
Right.
Just we have to say this for legal
reasons.
In her
dreams. And probably other people as well. He was a very attractive man.
He was a beautiful man.
He was very zeitgeisty at the time.
The whole family, and I know we've established this already, but it cannot be stressed enough. The whole Kennedy family, and Liam and Caddick and Triss, I will come to you. We have to stress everyone in that family I would have done.
Exactly. And the thing was, we were seeing them twice a day. It was quite...
In reverse order. I would have done them in this order.
Son, Dad.
No, you're incorrect.
This is my list.
All right, well, let me do mine. So, in reverse order, number 4, Malcolm. At number 3, controversially, Libby.
Yeah, no.
She was too perky. At number 2, well, it's a toss-up. So,
and then number
one is Susan.
Anyway, Dr. Carl was all over Caroline.
Apparently, there was a third child called Billy.
Yes, the younger one.
I wouldn't have done that. I'm not a
Didn't Billy end up being
transgender?
No.
They should do that.
No.
They should do that.
They probably have. I don't watch it anymore. I used to watch it twice a day, same thing. What's that?
Yeah, well, my friend Mackenzie used to. I wonder if he's still got this brilliant VHS tape. He'd say, "Do you want to watch? I'll put the kettle on." And we go, "What's that?" And what it is he would note at what time in the episode they would say, "I'll put the kettle on," and then in the evening one he'd record it, and he had about a 7-minute montage.
People putting the kettle on.
I'll put the kettle on. Just like 7 minutes. It was brilliant.
And that's why he now is an award-winning filmmaker.
Yeah, he's won BAFTAs. He wants
to put that one out.
Yeah, he's won BAFTAs for that.
Anyway, Dr. Carl, Every Which Way, right?
Yep.
In Caroline's Dreams. And we all laughed about it, how we laughed.
Yeah.
I didn't blame her, frankly. It was good.
This story was much shorter when you told it to me during the break.
I know,
because
you didn't interrupt. You didn't interrupt.
Well, I know, but
there was no
without,
lists.
Even without the interruption, this story will be done by now. Just cut to the meat and two veg.
So, that's what was going on every night, the meat and two veg.
It's a sexy dream, yeah. So
Sexy dreams, over and over again.
we know, we've got that.
Every single conceivable...
Liam, can you believe this?
Position.
I don't understand what's going on, if I'm completely honest with you.
She told me a story during the break that took 20 seconds, right? We came out of that break 5 minutes ago.
If you'll stop interrupting, I'll finish.
I don't know. I completely lost track of time. I'm going to be honest.
She's telling me about how her flatmate used to have erotic dreams about Carl Kennedy from Neighbours. So her friend went over to Australia.
Don't spoil it.
Well, just to finish it.
So Tracy, other housemate, not Sonia. Sonia's not in this one. Tracy went to Australia.
Right.
And she went on the Neighbours tour. Have you ever heard of the Neighbours tour?
I could guess what it is.
It's a tour of Ramsay Street.
Right.
And Lassiter's. And you meet some of the stars.
Lassiter's.
Awesome.
You meet the stars. She meets Carl Kennedy. She's a quick thinker, is our Tracy. So what does she do? She gets herself a great big piece of cardboard and writes on it. And she gets him to hold it up. This is before mobile phones. So she had to get this thing home and process it and give the photo to Caroline. And the photo that Caroline receives is a picture of her special dream friend holding a poster that says, "Caroline, I dream of you too." Best present ever from a holiday.
Not to waste an opportunity and all that, though. That's
I've got a rude story about Carl
This was
Kennedy.
the days before D-Pics.
So we went into... oh dear. We went in... He came on my show when I was in LBC, and my producer at the time, Adrian Crisp, was a really big fan.
Was
really
he having
big fan.
dreams?
No, but... We played a couple of his songs there, and we played a cover version of it. We played an original song, right, called Accidental Trespass. Right. And I've never seen this, and Chris is now the producer of the Nick Ferrari show, but he was a very shy, quiet gentleman. And we went and saw the concert, and at the end, Carl Kennedy was signing stuff, and so Chris went up and got his ticket signed, because he was genuinely a huge fan, right? And he went,
right.
Can I just ask Carl, whatever his name is? He said, is accidental trespass about anal sex? and Carl burst into laughter. He went, "No, I'd never thought of it that way before." So naughty
That's
Carl
amazing.
Kennedy. Yeah, it's amazing.
Are these the burning questions that plague your mind?
Go on, Liam. Sorry, you've wandered into a very naughty part of the show.
I just called up to say that the show was going really well. I've listened for a long time through the podcast, and I'm listening live for the first time now. So I thought I'd call and just say that you're doing a good job.
Thank you, man. How come you're managing to listen live now? What's changed today?
I just haven't really bothered, I'm going to be honest. If that's a fair answer.
I mean, gosh.
It is a lot of effort to turn those radios on, isn't it?
I've listened to every podcast, though, if that's any consolation.
I would have thought that downloading and listening to the podcast was more effort than turning the bloody radio on.
Massive hassle.
You can listen to it whenever you want. You don't have to stay up until 11 o'clock to talk to you.
Yeah, that's true. So what time do you normally go to bed?
Well, about 2 o'clock, so I've got no excuse.
What is going on with you? What are you busy playing computer games or working? What are you doing?
Mate, I'm working. I'm reading. I'm studying. I'm a student.
Oh.
Reading is not technically is not working.
Not really. No,
reading's easy.
I'm just reading.
What are you? Hang on. Let's try. Okay.
Let's guess from his voice.
Let's guess from Liam's voice what it is he's studying. I'm going to bring Alan Caddick into the conversation. Good evening, Caddick.
He's gone again.
What was that?
That's a snoring.
He's only been on hold for 22 minutes. Alan! Sometimes this works. I don't know how. Alan!
Hey!
Hey!
Sorry, I was asleep again.
All right.
What kind of cake?
Red velvet.
I prefer lemon drizzle.
You would.
Well, I make good lemon drizzle cake. You're not Ian.
I'm not, nah. I'm Liam. Nice to meet you, Caddick.
Good to meet you too, Liam. 6 minutes before calls go straight to air.
Sorry?
5 minutes till the calls go straight to air.
Oh, sorry.
I'm like running a countdown.
Oh, yeah.
So, are you going to plan for the weekend?
No. Are you?
I'm going to be making a lemon drizzle cake.
Alan, we're going to play a game, and thank you for reminding me straight to air. And Liam, I had to jump in and save you. That was a form of you. Now, Caddick, you've heard Liam speak. He's a student, and we're going to guess what he's studying.
Right. I'm going to go first. You're up till 2 a.m. There was only one. Now, assuming you've not spent all day down the boozer, you don't sound like you have. That means you're doing a hard course. So I would guess architecture.
Oh, no, you're way off.
Go on.
Ed, I need an out time, please. He's doing something Ponzi.
No.
He sounds frail of voice and limp of leg. I'm going to say it's history.
Oh, you're close. Would you consider that Ponzi?
Sorry?
Would you consider that Ponzi?
Yeah, of course it was, yeah.
He did theatre studies anyway.
Shut up. Alan, what do you think?
Alan's fallen back asleep, he's bored.
Well, you're on the right line when you said history. I think he's going to go for psychology.
Well, that's nothing like.
It's nothing like history, unless he's doing the history of psychology. Liam, we're all spent. What is it you're studying, mate?
I study international relations. It's like global politics.
Oh.
Another Boris Johnson.
What a reaction! Nah, well, I haven't got good enough hair.
I did international relations, but that was during my French and Spanish course. No, I did French and Spanish course.
She's making a joke that she had sex with lots of foreigners.
I didn't have sex with lots of them.
Liam, I'm glad you're listening tonight, mate. Thanks very much for the call.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
You're a good sport. Cheers, thank you. Caddick, you've embarrassed yourself?
As usual.
Yes, you have. What would you like to say before I cut you off?
Call straight to air after the news.
There we go, you see. Very,
So now Caddick's calling the shots, is he?
I'd forgotten that we were going to do that. A very downbeat, downcast Alan Caddick there. The thing is, when you shout down a phone, that doesn't make it any louder. It just makes it more distorted.
Or in Caddick's case, I was going to say clearer.
Yeah. He's right. Trish, stay there. We'll take you after the news, but then after that, dear listener, Alan Caddick is right. It will be calls straight to air. Don't call just yet. I'll give you the number in a little bit. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB. Access all radios.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip. Talk Radio.
Oh, man. Thank you for reminding me, Alan. It's call straight to air. This bit, sometimes it works and it's brilliant, and sometimes it works and it's a car crash, and sometimes it doesn't work and it's brilliant. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Drove downtown in the rain, 9:30 on a Tuesday night, just to check out the late night record shop. Call it impulsive, call it compulsive, call it insane. But when I'm surrounded, I just can't stop. It's a matter of instinct, it's a matter of conditioning, a matter of fact. You can call me Pavlov's dog. Ring a bell and I'll salivate. How'd you like that? Dr. Landy, tell me you're not just a pedagogue. 'Cause right now I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. Well, I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. So I'm lying here, just staring at the ceiling tiles, and I'm thinking about what I think about. Just listening and re-listening to Smiley Smile, and I'm wondering if this is some kind of creative drought, because I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. Well, I'm lying in bed just like Brian Wilson did. Whoa. And if you wanna find me, I'll be out in the sandbox, just wondering where the hell all the love is gone. I'm playing my guitar and building castles in the sun. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And saying fun, fun, fun. I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. Well, I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. Whoa. I had a dream that I was 300 pounds. No, I was everything. I floated till I couldn't see the ground. I floated till I couldn't see the ground. Oh, somebody help me. I couldn't see the ground. Somebody help me. Couldn't see the ground. Somebody help me. Because I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. Well, I'm lying in bed, just like Brian Wilson did. Ooh, yeah. Downtown in the rain, 9:30 on a Tuesday night, just to check out the late night record shop. Late night record shop. Calling and balls, or you can call it the balls, or you can call it insane. But when I'm surrounded, I just can't stop.
Do you remember when Stephen Page, came in here and performed for us and was saying, what songs do you want to hear?
Yeah.
Do you mean stuff from the new album? No, anything. Not just stuff from the new album. Shoebox. From like a really old album.
He sat in that chair.
And he didn't remember it, and it was wonderful. And we were also lucky enough to see the Bare Naked Ladies without Stephen Page. When they were recording an acoustic set for some TV show.
Yeah, and we thought we were going to go and sit in a TV studio.
I thought there'd be an audience of about 60, 70 fans there. It was just us. We had to hide in a cupboard to watch it. We were as close to them as you are to me now.
It was brilliant.
And I told you I took the boys to see the Bare Naked Ladies when they came over at the Roundhouse a couple of weeks ago, and they found the concert a little bit long, and it was really long for them, and they were
and it was late. Come on, they're not used to being up that late.
Superbly well behaved, but they loved it. And we went to the after-show party. It wasn't a big after. I got a picture of the boys with Howard Jones, which is the coolest thing. It wasn't big. There were maybe 50, 60 people there. And I said, look, why don't we just wait for a little bit? And if the band come out, we'll see if we can say hello and we'll thank them for the tickets.
Thank you, yeah.
And they came out, and Ed just came straight over to us, the first people. And he had to walk past people to get to us. And I thought, we might get, and hello if we're lucky. And he walked over, ignored me, and just spent the next 5 minutes making my two children wet themselves with laughter. Hey, guys, did you enjoy the show? How old are you? 6, 4. Okay, have you got some ID? Huh? I need to see your driving licenses to make sure. How do I know you're 6 and 4? Have you got your pilot's licenses? And they're like killing themselves laughing. I go, no. I go, well, supposing I need someone to fly me to Canada really quickly. If you haven't got a license, this is disaster. And he just did a routine with them for 5 minutes, and he said some very, very kind words to me, and that we had pictures, and we got out of their way, and it was just.
They're proper nice blokes.
Yeah, but they're also brilliant. Normally, you get. People that are nice but are a bit ropey, or people that are brilliant but are a bit cold. But they're just decent. And we didn't go and speak to the other band because I'm sure we could have done, but I didn't really want to. They had friends and stuff there. But they just there was no reason. He'd given us free tickets, right? There was no reason for him to spend 5 minutes after a concert when he had friends and fans there. Wasn't even that many fans there because it was like a private thing. To spend 5 minutes making two boys he'd never met before laugh and then saying some very nice things to me. He didn't have to do that. Absolutely.
Maybe he's just a nice person.
Yeah, this is it. Maybe he's just a nice person. What a nice guy. Let me just take this call. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Jerry.
What I've done to the studio looks like a resemblance of the Pink Windmill.
There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. No, Gadzooks was Timothy Claypole.
Claypole.
Yeah.
Sadly no longer with us.
Oh, Nora's Ethel. Mistress Mika, isn't it? Died, didn't she, yesterday?
Who's Mistress Mika?
Ethel.
Who's she?
She, right, in Rent-A-Ghost. The people who own the house.
Oh, I know Mrs. Mika, but we're doing old kids' TV shows.
Sorry, and I've forgotten your water, so I'll go and get it.
Wasn't who's the green lady? The green witch? Didn't she do, not porno?
No, shut up.
She did something. Anyway, Jerry, you're live on Talk Radio. How do you want to use that time?
I'm going to sing happy birthday to your mum.
Well, it's not till Sunday.
Oh, I can't, on weekend, so I can't sing it then.
All right, then, go on then.
Happy birthday, Ian's mum. Happy birthday, Ian's mum. Happy birthday, Ian's mum. I don't know what her name is. Happy birthday, Ian's mum.
Thank you, Jerry. Now stick that up your bum. Tris, I will come to you in a second. Let me just take this call, then I'll do Tris. Yes, line 2.
Hi.
Hi. Turn your radio off.
Yeah, I didn't realise how to do that. I'm calling because Honey blackmailed me to call you.
Wow, you've been blackmailed by
by Honey.
Yes. Okay. What was the blackmail? What would get revealed if you didn't call in?
Well, it wasn't blackmail as such. She was just basically begging me to.
She asked you to call, and she asked you to call, and you said yes.
Yeah.
And you've accused her wrongfully of blackmail. Outrageous. Kids these days.
Maybe
you're a cyberbully. You're a cyberbully, sir.
It was strong words.
You are cyberbullying. You're trolling her, sir. I will not tolerate trolls.
She told me to tell you that in Austin Powers 2 he gets cloned.
Ah, okay, yeah, I'll give you that one. Yeah, definitely. That relates, if you've just tuned in, well, that relates to something we were talking about an hour ago.
Honey just told me to listen to your show, and I was like, okay, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'll do that. Because she hasn't got any phone credit right now, and she was like, oh my God, call Ian.
Marks out of 10 for the show, please. For a first-time listener who doesn't quite understand it, marks out of 10.
Well, actually, that's a lie. I think I listened to it last week.
You make me puke. So far, you've accused somebody of blackmail when they just asked. You have been cyberbullying and trolling, and now you're a fantasist.
She bullied me by making me listen to the Beach Boys.
Right, I'm cutting you off. I don't need to listen to this abuse. Wow. I just want to spend some time alone with my family now. Let's go to Tris, then we'll have a break, then we'll take calls straight to air. Evening, Tris!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, hip, hip. Tris, what you got?
Oh, I used to be in love with Libby Kennedy. I mean, like, seriously in love with her.
Can I interrupt for a geeky moment? I have two people tweeting me saying, there is something up with the sound since the music. It's making me feel sick. The levels are up and down. I don't know. May I suggest you switch your radio off and on again? That's a genuine suggestion, by the way. That's a genuine suggestion, by the way. Anyway, Tris, yes.
Yeah, Libby Kennedy, I was in love with her. Genuinely.
She was very bouncy.
Yeah, I don't mind a bit of bounciness every now and again.
No, I'm not saying it. I don't know why people think I'm saying it as a negative. It's certainly a positive.
Well, you put her at number 3, that's why.
Yeah, but out of a very, very hot family. And the only reason one of the, was out of 4 instead of 5, because one of them was a child.
I used to like Susan in Prisoner Cell Block H, that period.
Oh, I never watched that. I never watched that. But Susan Kennedy is a very, very beautiful woman. There is no denying that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I'm going back 20 years now. I don't know what any of them look like now. But...
No, I mean, sure.
You probably still would.
Rough as, I reckon, all of them.
Yeah.
all
I'm
of
not
them.
overly fussy, though, to be honest.
Exactly.
Mrs. Mangle would do him or Bouncer.
Do you remember Bouncer's Dream?
I do remember Bouncer's Dream. What was that? That was a whole episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A whole episode that was the dog's dream.
What did Bouncer dream about?
Another dog, I think. Wasn't it?
Wasn't it humping Jim Dale's leg? I've met Joe Mangle, who plays Joe Mangle. Mark
Little.
I've met Mark Little. He's a delightful gentleman. Bit hippie-ish, bit, kind of...
He's quite funny, though, isn't he?
He is funny. I met him and his wife a couple of times on the Big Brother thing, and what a nice bloke. What a nice bloke, I mean, yeah, a little bit vague and a little bit out there, man. A bit cosmic, but just absolutely delightful and charming and very friendly. It's nice when you meet people that, I don't know him from Adam, but you meet people that are so familiar facially just because you've seen them, sometimes twice a day for years. And sometimes you can meet these people and they can be arses. You can be really cold.
It's a strange sensation, isn't it? Because your brain thinks that you know that person, so you've already got that sort of connection when you see them. And I think it's very peculiar if they come off how your brain doesn't expect
I have
them to
a weird thing, right? Because I've been on telly.
Have you? You never mentioned it.
And I've been on... Shut up. And I've been on certain programmes. There is a weird thing, and I found this quite early on, that you are... And I never quite know what the rules are. You are allowed to speak to other people that have been on the telly. Now, people that are above you in the telly pecking order are allowed to speak down, and on the same level, they're not allowed to speak up, right? So for example, I was walking down the street once and I saw Tucker Jenkins,
right.
Mark Fowler.
Where does he figure?
I wasn't allowed to speak up, but he said, all right. So that was him. He was allowed to speak down to me. He went, all right. I went, all right, mate. Now, and it's simply because we've been on the telly.
Did you say hello, sir?
No. Because I've been on the telly. So it's this strange hierarchy. Now, I was out for a meal the other day, and in the restaurant was a Sawala.
Uh-huh. Which one? Don't matter.
Which one?
Not Julia.
No, Nadia Sawala. It was the loose from the Loose Women.
Yes.
And I don't remember if I think I've met her before, but also she could quite easily speak down to me.
Mm.
I could not speak up to her, but I didn't want to speak to her. Do
you have to if they speak to you?
Of course you do.
Like the Queen.
You have to speak to them as though you're mates.
Ah.
And I hate those conversations. So I walked past the table twice. First time I noticed her, she didn't notice me. Ooh. Second time, I got my phone out, pretended I was on my phone, doing something on my phone. The third time, she was with the tall Scottish woman who used to be
Kay
loose.
Adams.
Mm. Now, I do know Kay Adams, because I've been on the right stuff with her, and she's a fan of mine. Wow. She's a fan of mine, and she kept saying, you'd be great, why don't you do a documentary about this? Why don't you do a programme about this? You'd be great about this. And I could have gone, all right, Kay, I could have spoken to her.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little bit above me, but we have history. So I could have spoken to her. I didn't. I went out the back entrance of that restaurant.
Wow.
I couldn't get involved with that.
Why didn't you want to speak to the lesser Sawala sister?
Not lesser, just
All right.
different.
All right, Tris. Right. So you're me, right?
Yeah.
Sawala, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you're walking past me, right? In the restaurant, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, hi.
Hello, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. What? How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, okay, I'll get it, actually, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah,
That
no,
was
I do,
awkward, and that was just pretending. Imagine it for real. I would be... Kath, you've seen me
But that's true. I mean, that's true in every walk of life, though, isn't it, really?
No, mate, it's different.
No, why not?
Because celebrities are special.
But in radio, if you see each other and you recognise each other off the radio, it's the converse of the television rule. You never speak to each other. Never acknowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is... it's just so confusing, so tense. And I'm in it now. Show business is in my blood. Literally, it's in my blood.
It's all tits, teeth and taps with you, isn't it?
Anyway, Tris, what was the point of this phone call, please, sir?
Well, I was feeling a little bit down when I phoned in, but thinking that Libby Kennedy cheered me up, actually. I completed a project that I've been trying to do for a while.
Oh, hang on 1 second. Can I just say one thing? I need that guitar lead tonight from the back of your car.
in my boot.
Yeah, right, well, I'm going to write it in my hand. Sorry, Tris.
Storing it
I'm
in
really
my
sorry
boot.
to interrupt, but it's just popped in my head, and if I don't get that, I'll be in trouble this weekend. Sorry, Tris. Carry on. You
No, that's all right.
completed a project.
Yeah. And I think now I've completed it, I've got no goal, and I'm down. I've managed to successfully alphabetise my entire record collection.
Beautiful.
So I'm very, very happy.
Yeah, well done.
But now it's like, what do I do now?
Oh, mate. Well, do you want me to tell you what you do now?
You get a live.
Yeah, go on.
Shut up.
Sure.
Now, you put each album by the group in chronological order.
I've already done that. So
Have
it's
you?
alphabetical, then chronological to the band. Yeah.
You're good.
Obviously, I'm not.
Mate,
I'm not an
That's
idiot.
it. It's game over. That's it. Game over.
Yeah.
There's nothing more for you to do. You've completed this game.
Yeah.
I hope you lie down. If you lie down tonight with your arms folded across your chest, your body will, your spirit will ascend to the next level.
Yeah, I've got nothing now.
Tris, enjoy literally having nothing. Thank you, mate. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
It's time for the most dangerous part of the show. Triple M. Straight to air.
Call straight to air for the last 37 minutes of the show this week. 0844 499 1000. 7 pence a minute plus connection charge. Might be a bit more from various mobiles. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
My balls are full of sperm. My balls are full of sperm. My balls sperm. My balls are full of 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 sperm.
They shouldn't be doing this.
Someone's remixed my call to Mike's Dickin. you love Mike's Dickin. Thank you for that, whoever that was. Line 2, you're on the wireless.
Oh, hello, Ian. It's James here.
Hello, James.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big fan from a long time ago, from the Absolute Radio days.
Well, do you know what? I consider that my middle period. I don't consider it longer. But thank you. How long have you? When did you discover me here?
About 3 days ago. I just realised you were back on. I've been down on the podcast for a few days.
That brilliant Talk Radio advertising campaign is really paying off.
Yeah, and I still can't believe you got all that collection of losers still on.
Yeah.
Gatford and I think I heard Vinny the other day.
Vinny was on the other day. You saying Gatford's a loser, yeah?
Oh, he's a loser. Oh, big time, yeah. And
Gatford, he's calling you a loser.
Watford.
Yeah, brilliant, Sunshine. What you got?
Who's that? Is that Gatford?
Loser. Yeah, hi. Let's hear your complaint.
I remember you from about 3 or 4 years ago now. It was a long time ago.
Right.
So you're still calling to Iain. Have you not found yourself a life yet?
This is my life? Well, no, it's my life.
Is that your life?
3 or 4 minutes every night, and then I've got one outside of that. Whereas you are just calling up to complain about my lack of life. Doesn't say much about your life.
I have a really good life, but you've been calling up for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, he doesn't call up. He doesn't call up every single day for 4 or 5 years. Don't please. Hey, listen, I'm really glad you found me, and that's groovy, man. But don't be mean to the callers, because without the callers, we don't have a show, you know. So the callers are integral to the show.
I must admit, I love all the callers, and also that lovely lady, Vinny.
Yes.
Now she sounds very hot.
She's certainly one hot mama. Sorry, line 2. I thought he was. Sorry, Gafford. I thought he was going to be a little bit more.
I'll do what I was going to do before I think. Call James Whale here on Talk Radio. Call James Whale here on Talk Radio. Give him a show on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Not on medium wave, medium wave, medium wave.
Thank you. Thank you. We used to have a guy called the James Whale guy that would phone up and would sing James Whale, what was then his current jingle from Talk Sport, constantly when we were on LBC. It was always a joy when he saw his name flash up. People that haven't called me for a long time, if you know where they are, please do get in touch. The Hey Little Hen Man, the original Anxious Man, and the guy that told me once that he'd kept his trousers on for 90 days.
Oh.
Yeah.
The musty man.
He was a strange one. Yes, line 3.
Pawn to E4.
Hang on a second. I'm sorry, you're wearing a hijab. I'm not playing this chess tournament. That's satire! That is satire. There's a chess tournament in Iran, and some of the world women's chess tournament, but lots of the world's greatest female chess players are refusing to go because they would have to wear hijabs.
Oh, I see.
So that's actually satire. That is actually what I've done there. Is I've been very clever. Line 2, you're on the wireless.
Hi, Ian. It's Martin from Sudbury in Suffolk.
Martin, turn your radio off.
I just literally did. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Wow. I've written down on Post-it notes what I was going to say.
Go on.
I've got a head like a sieve. I just literally finished work at 11:30. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the elephant in the room. I don't even want to mention his name from last night, but I don't know. You tune into something because you want to listen to it. We tune in for you, and the nature of the show and everything. I think it's absolutely great, but his rant about social media and, creating a storm on, that's kind of what he's done subliminally.
Yeah.
I'm not on Facebook. I'm on SoundCloud because I'm a drummer. That's the only social media outlet I have. I don't do Twitter as, I find it useful. It's a useful tool and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just think, his motive might have been to cause a stir. Do you know what I mean?
No. His motive was to be an arsehole. I know who it was.
Yeah.
You see, this is the thing. I know who it was, and that person wants to, for some reason, I don't know why they don't like me, but they want to. They want to have a pop. And I had some people saying today on Twitter, well, actually, he was making a good point. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was just trying to get me angry, and it didn't work. And I've discussed with far more intelligent and more heartfelt people than him my relationship with Twitter, and I think Twitter is negative in my life. But when I'm doing a radio show that isn't advertised very well, I kind of need to go on there a lot.
That's it. Presence is everything in promotion.
But
work,
that wasn't his. Yeah, but that wasn't
do.
that wasn't Andy's intent last night. It wasn't his intent. It was. And if you listen to the words, it was very, very mean spirited. It was fascinating. That's why I let him go on for so long, because it was fascinating. Someone trying to get me angry, and I wasn't engaging in that battle.
No, I mean, the way you come across and stuff, it might seem a little bit kind of abrupt to people, but that's how you are, and that's why we tune in, because you are the way you are.
Well, that's it. That's why people like this show, and that's why people don't like this show, is because it's, and I'm going to talk about me, and I'm going to push the honesty thing as far as I can. And I'm going to try and make every show completely different. If people, I mean, when saying that, this is the only regular feature we've got on a Friday night. The last hour is called Straight to Air. But if people tune in, it's Tuesday, I want to listen to Iain tonight because at 11:30 he does this on a Tuesday. That's not really what I want to do. Now, my new bosses, being realistic, may have something to say about that. And that's a conversation that we will have and a battle that we will have at a later date. But at the moment, I want it to be like jazz.
No, I don't think that should be an issue. I think, the mix of, like the guests you have on and stuff, and the little bit snippets of music you play and everything. It's everything. I finish work at 11:30 Monday to Friday, and to be fair, it's perfect to listen to until get
drop
ready
off?
to go to bed at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well,
yeah, it's perfect that time of night. A lot of people, you do get a lot of people phone in. I think freedom of speech is a good thing. I think freedom of choice is a good thing. But you don't get someone. I know you may know who he was, but you don't get people who are into like dance music or whatever, or heavily into a certain genre, phoning in like heavy metal show, going, "Oh, I don't like this." Well, obviously you don't, because you're into what you're into.
Can I ask? I'm right. I'll tell you my thoughts in a second, because I'm a big fan of speech radio and late night radio. Did you enjoy? No, I've wasted that question. How did listening to that 10 minutes of radio make you feel?
It made me feel like they phoned up with intent.
No, I'm not. But I'm going to hone in on this, because you're kind of second guess. I'm not interested in what they thought. How did it make you feel? Did it make you feel angry? Did it make you feel sad? Did you enjoy it? Did it make you feel excited? How did you feel?
It kind of made my ears prick up and think,
yeah,
what?
Yeah,
really? What? Why have you tuned in? Why have you made the effort to go on here and phone up?
And it's prompted you to call in. And we've never spoken before, have we?
No, never.
So,
and that's it. It's not. It wasn't like a prank call like Barry from Watford or something, or it's deep, man. It's awful.
It's life, man. It's life. Hey, listen, I've got to go because I'm late for a break, and I've been late for all the breaks. But I thank you for calling in. The call itself was awful. And the call itself was mean-spirited. I've just retweeted the link to it, put it on YouTube, because I think it's interesting. The call I also think was dangerous as well. And had I been in a slightly different place, I could have taken on board what he said. And there could have been people who were listening who could have taken on board what he said. You sound like the kind of man that could kill himself. Well, yeah, and your point is... and I think that's very dangerous, which is why he was challenged robustly and destroyed. But as a fan of late-night radio, I'd have loved listening to that. I'd have loved listening. Not because the call was any good, partly because the call was so bad.
I had a real moment this morning where I thought, do I put that in the podcast? Because that call made me furious. That was like sitting in a pub and having someone come up to me and my mate and him insulting my friend and me not doing anything, and I felt terrible about it, and I hated it. I hated every single second of it. I also know what that guy's after. Yeah. And he enjoys the attention. Yeah.
Which is why I'm not naming him, because I don't want to name him.
But at the same time, I also recognise the fact that it was a sort of radio that would make you turn your...
Oh, I would have listened more and longer and louder, because it was just such a car crash of a phone call.
I also think what you said at the end of it and the way you challenged him was really important.
Let's not talk about him anymore, because he's getting a little bummed thinking about it. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, somewhat, this is not how a phone-in show works. Call straight to air, 0844 499 1000. Jamie has tweeted me. My mate has just done his first radio show. Give him a ring, it would make our night. And then he's posted... Jamie, I'd suggest deleting that post with the phone number on there. I'm not going to call it, because I've been caught out like that before, so I'm not going to. And that's also not the point of this. This is Call Straight to Air. You call in, I touch the screen, I say, line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hello?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, no. Robin A, sponsored by Barry's Motors. From dog walkers to doggers, we've got your vehicle choice. How are we?
What specific vehicle needs do doggers have?
Big cars.
Glass roofs.
Why? What are they doing on it? Oh, God.
We can climb a tree and watch.
Yeah. Anyway, Rob, what you got for us?
It's been a tough week. So I thought Sheriff Rob will bring in his laughter pistols, finish off, fire them with a tribute to one of your favourite comedians and mine, hopefully to cheer everybody up. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, my tribute to Mr. Peter Kay. Hey up! It's spitting Do you remember videos? Do you remember lead and petrol? Ooh, garlic bread. I went to Chippy and me slippers. My dad took tea bags on holiday, daft man. Do you remember having a BMX?
Well, the thing is, Andy, the show is me. So if I feel
hang on a
shit,
second.
if I feel like
Hang
I
on.
want to jump off
Well,
a bridge, then
hang
I'm going
on.
to say that. I'm going to say I feel shit.
So I do apologise. Carry on, please.
My mum and me Auntie Sheila, she don't like me swearing. Do you remember Woolworths, Tarzan Boy, Baltimore?
Barry Motors, sponsoring Rob Benet's comedy, Stars in Their Eyes.
Thank you. Oh, come on! Oh, that's realistic, actually. Yeah, fair play, fair play.
Line 2, you're on the wireless.
Oh, hello, Ian. It's James here again.
Hello, James.
Hello, mate. I was speaking to, I've forgotten his name now. Caddick, that was the one. From years ago. I used to listen to you on Absolute Radio days a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking about all the old characters you used to have. A new character, that guy, Nigel from Maidstone, is it?
Yeah. What do you mean by character? Because these are real people.
Oh, yeah, I know, but they have a lot of characters of their personalities. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Nigel from Maidstone. Well, Nigel from Maidstone is new to me, but he's been phoning Talk Radio for about 20 years.
Oh, because he sounds very similar to Barry from Watford, but with a younger, posh accent.
No, I don't think they sound anything alike.
Oh, have you actually seen them both at the same time?
Well, no. Barry from Watford is my mate Alex, and Nigel from Maidstone I've never met, but I've seen YouTube videos of him.
All right. They just sound very similar. Their bass accent sounds very similar.
Okay.
I just wondered, a bit conspicuous if they're actually maybe the same person trying to get double the amount of fees.
Right. Why? Nigel's a real person.
Oh, is he? He sounds a very strange real person.
Well, yeah. There are hardly any characters. There are hardly any. So I question the word character. Barry is a character. Put your fingers in your ears, kids. He's played by my mate Alex Lowe, and he's about to be in a big new series with Noel Edmonds for Channel 4. Are there any other
characters? He's very funny, to be honest. Angelos on radio too as well.
Angelos phones in.
Yeah, Andre.
I mean, it could be said that you sound like a character.
Well, I could be. I very rarely ring up these things, but I've been in the pub now.
This sounds like you're putting on a fake voice. That's a fake laugh.
It's not fake voice. What about do you remember the really mad woman you used to have years ago who went on X Factor one night?
The woman. Now, are you talking about Tallulah, who had a budgerigar in a big plastic ball? This is true. She used to have a budgerigar in a big plastic ball, and she would take it out and put it on the front of her bike, and this budgie would be in there. And her brother was Michael Schenker, who was in a really big rock band. I can't think who was in the Michael Schenker group, but he's also in something else. Can't remember what else group is in. Is that who you mean?
I don't think so. No, she was. This was a bit about 4 or 5 years ago. She had a very unique sort of voice, and she would ring up every night, pretty much. But and then she actually appeared on X Factor singing some song. And
I don't watch X Factor.
She got booed off.
I don't know. I don't watch X Factor, so I wouldn't have seen her.
All right, I'm trying to think of all the other characters, all the other people rather than characters.
Well,
who used to have one.
Yeah,
who was the guy? Who was the guy that kept going about Ryan Reynolds in a silly voice?
Oh, that was Rob Benet. He unfortunately got killed.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he ran over himself while he was eating a jacket potato. With
all right, no, that doesn't surprise me because
he did. It's actually true.
Sad.
It was sad for a bit, but
then we were all right again.
He was a bit of a prick.
Yeah, it did sound a bit of an odd person.
Well, keep.
But anyway, and it's very great to hear from you again.
And it's great to hear from you again. Thank you so much. 08444. I say great. I mean, that must have been dull for everybody else. 08444 499 1000.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Someone's just tweeted me, WTF, Barry from Watford is not real. Of course he's real. Just saying that to wind up that fake character that had called him. Call straight to air for the last 15 minutes of the week, and then Talk Radio shuts down, and it doesn't start again until Monday at 1 o'clock when John Holmes comes on. Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Line 1.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks.
Good. A friend of mine tweeted you a little while ago with his telephone number.
Oh, that was was that Jamie?
It was Jamie.
Is he drunk? Why did he put his telephone number on Twitter?
We have to admit we did have a few drinks after doing this online show that we did. Yes.
So you did a radio show online.
Online radio show, first time ever. It was very daunting, but there's a long story as to why we did it. But yeah.
What kind of show was it? Music? Chat?
It was music, mainly music, and the chat I have a hard time with because it's a bit like doing a best man speech. You think it's a good idea at the time when you say yes, and then when it comes to it, you kind of panic and you kind of worry, and so, but we got through it, and we thought we'd have a few drinks, and he decided to put his telephone number on the tweet, which was the best of ideas.
He's an absolute plum. Well done for having the drinks afterwards. I used to have the drinks during.
I did do that as well. It loosened some of the nerves.
How did it go? Do you think?
I think it didn't go as badly as I thought it was going to.
That's all.
Luckily, I had a couple of friends here. And it kind of helps, really.
And did you enjoy it?
In a weird kind of way, yeah. It's kind of nervous excitement. Yeah, that was good.
You going to do it again?
Yes. Next Friday, we're going to try it again.
There you go.
Give it a go.
Well, then
see if it gets any better.
And do you, because it's online, are you able to see how many people are listening? Do you get that kind of instant figures?
Yes.
And how many people are listening?
Depressing. It was about 8 to 11 people, but then I didn't overly advertise it. So
I don't think that is. Well, I don't. It's not far off what we get, and that's not. It's not even a joke. It's not even a joke.
No, don't say that, Ian.
No, it's true. With figures,
I used to be a podcast person on one of your other shows for a station that I don't think it ended very well for you.
Well, you need to narrow it down a bit. That's all of them didn't end very well. Which one in particular?
It's Absolute Radio. That one
ended the best. That one ended the best of the lot. Because I went in.
Not for the listeners.
No, but I went in one night to meet my mate Paul because I was worried that the bosses weren't talking to me with 3 months on my contract. And my mate Paul said, "Oh, come and meet me in this bar before the show, and we'll have a chat about it." And I went, "All right." And I walked in. And the first face I saw was my boss, Clive. I went, "All right, Clive, what are you..." "Oh, I'm getting sacked, aren't I?" And we sat down, and he said, he said, "We're not going to renew your contract." So I had 3 months left on the contract, so we're not going to renew your contract. I went, "Oh, all right, well, I'll go and do the show tonight then." He went, "No, I don't think so." And do you know what I did?
What did you do?
I looked him in the eye, I shook his hand, I thanked him for the opportunity, and then I went outside and cried like a baby. That's what I did. But I shook his hand.
You showed yourself to be the bigger man.
Yeah, I did.
And then you had emotion afterwards.
Yeah, no, I shook his hand. I said, "Well, thanks very much for, letting me come and play here. I've really enjoyed it." And I am disappointed, but, it's the business. And I heard later on that everybody in management was amazed with the way that I took it. They were very impressed, the fact that I didn't smack him one. And there's no point, is there? So I'll end up working with him again one day. It's a cyclical business. But 8 to 11, I wouldn't... that's 8 to 11 people on a Friday evening that chose to listen to you.
Only for the hour. I was only on for an hour, just online. That's it. It's not too bad, is it?
I think that's brilliant.
Well, thanks very much.
I think that's brilliant. Use that to decide if you want to do it. Use it to get some skills. Use it to make your mistakes.
Exactly. You were part of my inspiration, though, because, I was a podcast person. I feel gutted that I'd never rang you up. I did have an idea for you, actually.
Go on.
When it came to...
I won't like it. But...
You should have done a little segment. I wish I'd rung up with the idea that, introduce a friend to Iain Lee. Because I did that with a friend of mine. He's continued to listen to you because I said, you should give Iain Lee a bit of a listen. I've got this podcast. Give it a listen.
How would we make that work?
Because Right. If you love the show, like I used to, I was a podcast person, listen to you religiously, and I loved it.
Yes.
And like I say, I introduced my friend to you by saying you should give him a listen. This is really great. And it doubled your numbers straight away from this. And if everybody did that, if everybody that was listening to you, who loved the show and enjoyed it as much as I did that and got a friend to listen who hadn't heard of you, say, and enjoyed the show, it would double your numbers straight away, wouldn't it? So if you had that would have racked up the numbers, and then perhaps they would have.
I don't know if anyone, because I know if I listened to a radio show and they said, "Oh, right now, go and introduce your friends," I'm not going to phone my friend and say, "Hey, they're doing this thing. Introduce your friend." I would have thought that people would have said to their friends, if they liked it, I found this great podcast, or I found this cracking show. But by me, I just wonder if me saying, "Hey, don't
like
forget,"
begging.
Yeah.
No,
and
I
people
get it
wouldn't
now.
look me in the eye.
Now I've said it. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Hey, listen, I'm going to go because there are some more calls coming in, but I'm glad it went well, mate, and it's good to talk to you. I'm glad your idiot drunken friend took his phone number off the blooming Twitty prune. Line 2, you're on the wireless.
Hi, Ian. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Turn your radio off.
Good. Yeah, sorry, I've just done it. I was just calling to say that I've just heard the guy that called in yesterday, which you just retweeted.
Yes.
And I just wondered, because obviously you're retweeting it because you want people to know, to talk about it and so on. But then also, that's really hard for you, isn't it? Because then you're kind of having to go over it all the time. You never really get to...
Oh, no, I'm at peace with that. I'm at peace with what happened yesterday. Hello?
So you... hi, sorry. So you don't... Do you not think, though, by keep listening to it, it kind of keeps it in the ether or
I'm not listening to it. But there are other people that might want to listen to it, because it's a masterclass in how to handle a caller with an agenda. It's a masterclass.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's brilliant radio, but I think it's very...
why not share that?
I think it must be very hard for you. That's what I was thinking.
Honestly, it's not. Honestly, I was a little bit upset after the show yesterday for about 12 minutes. Honestly, I'm completely at peace with it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put it up on YouTube. But thank you for your concern.
Yeah, well, I just think it's very hard, isn't it, when you put yourself in that position when you don't know who's going to come on and talk to you, and these people who obviously do have another agenda can say their piece, which is great, free country, all of that. But it's. I just thought you handled it really well, so that's all I was really
I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about presenting during that 8 minutes of that call, and I've learned a lot about myself today as a result of it. So I'm grateful. And also, it's as I said earlier on, but it's inspired me to get back in touch with the Samaritans, because Kath and I met some of the Samaritans and people who worked there last week, and we're going to get someone on hopefully next week. I need to chase that up on Monday. To come and talk about how important the Samaritans is and how they save lives. So actually, talking to an idiot who has been, deliberately offensive about mental health is actually it will spark a bigger conversation on this show next week. So it's all worked out quite all right. But thank you for your concern. I appreciate it.
Good, cool.
Thank you, man. Have a good night. Have a nice weekend. See, there are lovely people out there. Let's try this one. Busy tonight, isn't it? Non-stop. Let's go to line 4. You're on the wireless.
29 Acacia Road. And this is Eric, the schoolboy who leads an amazing double life.
Oh, Divine Comedy.
When Eric eats a banana, an amazing transformation occurs.
No, it's not Divine Comedy, it's Banana Man. He sounded like the Divine Comedy.
Banana Man, ever alert for the call to action.
Thank you very much indeed. We've got a little break now, so we've got 4 minutes if people want to call in. 0844 499 1000. It feels like we haven't done this for a while.
No.
Was it last week I was off? No, it couldn't have been last week. It must have been the week before that I had the Friday off. I don't know. Anyway, it's been a
week.
It's been Oh, I thought it was nice with Stephen Page. Stephen, what shorthand could we use? How could we introduce you to people? He said, I'm the... It's been... I thought that was such a brilliant... What a great, knowing way, self-awareness to have about your celebrity and how the shorthand of how some people will know you. It's been... line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hello.
Hello, you're on the air.
Oh, hello. I was just thinking, I just saw that thing on Twitter that you posted.
Yes.
And don't you think that's the worst thing you could do, really?
No. Why?
Because you just... Well, the bloke who did it, he's probably going to be listening to that and listening to you now, pulling his pud or whatever, getting... all the attention he's getting from it.
Well, no, because if you listen to the clip, he embarrassed himself. He embarrassed himself. That's why it's out there, because it was an embarrassment for him.
Well, yeah, it was so self-righteous. He was obviously winding you up.
Yeah.
But I just think the best thing to do would just be to ignore it.
But I can't just ignore it, because it happened. It happened, and I have to own it.
Yeah, I suppose. Okay.
Otherwise, he could. I don't want to fall out with you, but if I don't own it, he will own it. So I've taken control of it. I mean, I know who it was. I know why he was doing it. It's
got a pretty good idea that he's probably recording it himself. Anyway.
Yeah, and I'm kind of proud. I'm really proud of it. Actually, I'm proud of it. I think he's embarrassed himself, and I thought I came out, heroic. If I'm being honest. Right. But thank you for your concern, line 1. I appreciate that. This may be the last one. Let's see. Line 2, you're on the wireless. Hello?
Hello, Ian?
Yes?
Hello, it's Nat.
Hello, Nat. Yeah, Swindon, turn your radio off, Nat.
Oh, sorry, I'm on Periscope. Hang on. Bear with me.
Oh, Christ.
There she is.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Right. First of all, I need to applaud you on that bloke, on that call.
Oh, thank you.
And I thought you did really well with him. Secondly, when are you going to get Barry back?
Barry from Watford?
Yeah.
He's busy at the moment because he's genuinely filming a TV series with Noel Edmonds.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry about that. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, but, don't apologise.
I only started following him from last night, from when you were talking about him last night.
He'll come on soon enough. When he gets bored in a hotel room in Nottingham or wherever it is he's doing it, he'll call in, I'm sure.
Okay, that's cool. No problem.
All right, now, thanks very much. This is maybe the last call of the night. Line 1, you're on the wireless. Oh, he bottled it. Okay, it was a bottler. Well, that's a nice way to end it. Oh, no, hang on, we've got another one. Look, who's this? Line 2, you're on the wireless.
On that bloke, on that call. And I thought...
Hey, little hen, what about laying me an egg?
I can't think of a better way to end the show.
Elizabeth, cut out the singing. I want you to lay me an egg. I'm tired. Too tired, nothing.
We'll be back on Monday. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Catherine. Download the podcast. See you Monday at 10. Ta-ta.
Off you in a moment.
Talk Radio. Intelligent, organic entertainment.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.